Chapter 916. Ao Xiaowan was looking at Qin Feng, and Qin Feng was also looking at Ao Xiaowan. Qin Feng had seen Ao Xiaowan the moment she arrived. Then, Qin Feng was dumbfounded. How did this girl return to her non-mainstream self? Zheng Shuai. Let me confirm the script with you. CEO Gu ran to Zheng Shuai's side with a smile on his face. The script remains the same. Later, the Hong Triad members will play the role of gangsters and bully share. At the critical moment, thunder will rumble in the sky, and you will appear to beat up those gangsters. Then, you will play the hero and save share. CEO Gu was in high spirits. Qin Feng did not know why he was so excited. Okay, I know how to act. I'm born with the ability to act cool. I don't need you to teach me. Hee, that's true. Oh, by the way, there's one thing that needs to be changed. Originally, it was supposed to be a fake fight, but after discussing with the people of Hong Triad, to make this scene more realistic, the Hong Triad brothers are willing to be beaten up. You could just beat them for real. It's not your fault if you injure them. I'll pay for their medical expenses and mental damage. Qin Feng did not know that Gu had been slapped twice, so why was he so excited? But now he understood everything. After all this time, this old guy was still plotting against him. However, Qin Feng did not expose CEO Gu. He smiled and said, "Okay, I got it. Since someone is giving me a free beating, it's not a problem for me to put in more effort, right?" CEO Gu laughed so hard that his chrysanthemum blossomed. Huh, beat them. Just beat them to death. Anyway, I have a lot of money. I can settle it for you even if you beat them to death. As long as the effect of this scene is achieved, everything is negotiable. Okay. With CEO Gu's words, I'm relieved. Qin Feng looked like he was taking it seriously. CEO Gu wanted to laugh, but could not. His neck was red from holding it in. After setting up the plot of both sides, Mr. Gu quickly winked at the staff. Everyone was ready to start shooting. None of the onlookers dared to rush in, because Ao Xiaowan was there to hold the fort. All departments, get ready. Actors in position. Action. CEO Gu personally hit the clapperboard. His voice was full of excitement. The shooting had already begun. The camera was aimed at Ao Xiaowan and the members of the Hong sect. Ao Xiaowan, with a group of underlings, swaggered down the street. These people were big gangsters in Hong Kong. Their every move revealed a bad taste. They were simply acting in their true colors. "Miss Wan, there's a beautiful girl over there. Do you want to bring her over for us to play?" Brother Long followed the script and walked up to Ao Xiaowan. Ao Xiaowan stopped, rubbed his chin, and looked at Shui. "She really is a top-grade beauty. Go, catch her for me. I want to ask her about the secret of breast enhancement." It was also Ao Xiaowan's first time acting. There were many things she didn't understand. However, Ao Xiaowan didn't need to understand. She was like Zhang Ke. She would act wherever she wanted. There was a burst of laughter all around. Everyone was amused by Ao Xiaowan's words. How was this a shooting? Was this a comedy? It was a little like Stephen Chow's nonsensical style. Chairman Gu's mouth twitched violently. He wanted to shout, "Cut," but he didn't dare to. He could only watch helplessly as the scene was messed up. However, this was not important. Chairman Gu was waiting for Qin Feng to appear and offend the Hong sect and be chased out of Hong Kong. At that time, Chairman Gu would find a fresh meat in the film industry and reshoot Hedonist Sovereign. All right, he would also chase Zhang Ke out of Hong Kong. What are you doing? Brother Long and his underlings had surrounded Shui. Shui screamed in fear. "Little beauty, don't shout. We're not bad people. Our big sister wants to talk to you. You'd better come with us obediently. I don't want to go with you. Don't stop me, or I'll call the police." Shui acted very well. Her expression was on point, and her voice was trembling. Brother Long's face turned cold. He became impatient and said, "Bitch, I'm giving you face, but you won't listen to me? Don't blame us for taking action." Brother Long and his underlings laughed evilly. They extended their hands toward Shui. Shui was so frightened that she shrunk her body and cried for help. "Help! Is there anyone? Help me!" Bang! A loud explosion sounded. This was specially arranged by the film crew. They set up a small thunderclap that gave Qin Feng a fright. Qin Feng quickly regained his senses. He leaped into the crowd and held Shue's slender waist. He looked at Brother Long and his underlings and yelled, "You bastards! How dare you take liberties with a young woman in broad daylight? How dare you take liberties with a young girl? Today I, the great hero Qin Feng, will teach you a lesson." Qin Feng held Shui in one hand and a sheathed longsword in the other. The film crew hurriedly used a fan to blow Qin Feng's hair. Qin Feng's fake hair fluttered even though there was no wind. The underlings of Hong's sect could not bear to look at Qin Feng's face. Ao Shaoan rushed forward because it was her turn. "You ugly monster! How dare you meddle in my business? I'll give you a chance to kowtow and admit your mistake. Otherwise, I'll teach you a lesson." Qin Feng hadn't seen Ao Shaoan for a long time. He didn't expect this girl to return to her original hot personality. The image of Ao Shaoan pretending to be a pure and virtuous lady flashed in Qin Feng's mind. Qin Feng was so scared that he hurriedly shook his head. He didn't dare to think about it anymore. "You stupid girl! How dare you say that I, the great hero Qin Feng, am ugly? I think there's something wrong with your taste." Others might be afraid of Ao Shaoan, but Qin Feng was not. He glared at Ao Shaoan and scolded her. The underlings of Hong's sect were stunned. They had never met anyone in Hong Kong who dared to scold a young miss. By the way, not long ago, a great man from the mainland seemed to have subdued Ao Shaoan. But in more than 20 years, there was only one such great man. Ao Shaoan was so angry that his chest was about to explode. That wasn't what Boss Gu said just now. Was there something wrong with the protagonist's head? What did you say? You said I'm stupid? You scar-faced. Hurry up and kowtow to me and admit your mistake. Ao Shaoan's voice was trembling with anger. This was not an act. Don't even think about it. I, the great hero Qin Feng, have been wandering in Jianghu for 20 years. When have I ever bowed to evil forces? But I have to advise you to get out of here. Otherwise, when my sword is unsheathed, people will die. Qin Feng was born to be pretentious. His words, arrogant expression, and actions directly made those fans boil. "Handsome, so handsome! Zheng Shuai, draw your sword and kill all those bullies." Hearing the fans' shouts, Ao Shaoan was so angry that her hair stood on end. Without saying a word, she threw a punch at Qin Feng's face. In fact, Ao Shaoan was not very powerful, but no one dared to touch her in Hong Kong, so she was naturally not afraid of death. His little pink fist had just reached Qin Feng's face and was about to land on the tip of Qin Feng's nose when Qin Feng casually grabbed and pulled Ao Shaoan into Qin Feng's arms. Qin Feng had a beautiful woman in each hand. The feeling of hugging both Shui and Ao Shaoan was very angry. Shui broke free from Qin Feng's arms when Qin Feng was not paying attention. Ao Shaoan also wanted to break free, but it was too late. Qin Feng held Ao Shaoan tightly and did not let go at all. "Bastard, do you know who I am? Let go of me, or I'll let my brother trample you to death." Ao Shaoan was anxious. She had only been hugged by her brother and Qin Feng in her life, and Ao Shaoan's heart was full of Qin Feng. How could she be hugged by another stinky man? "Oh, you're finished, you're finished. How dare you take advantage of Miss Gu? You're dead. Call someone to bring all the Hong gang members here and kill this guy. Call 5 more horses. We have to dismember him." After Elder Brother Long and the others came to their senses, they all took out their cell phones and began to call for help. Rao Sherman and the other girls were frightened by the scene. They were all from the mainland and were unfamiliar with Hong Kong. They were just filming a movie. So how did Zheng Shuai offend the Hong gang members? Chairman Gu was also worried, but he was overjoyed. Shui stood aside expressionlessly and glanced at Qin Feng from time to time. No one knew what she was thinking. Ao Shaoan was still struggling in Qin Feng's arms. This little girl, who had always been a maverick, was so anxious that she was about to cry. "Shaoan, don't struggle. I'm Qin Feng." Qin Feng did not expect things to turn out this way. He had underestimated the Hong gang's strength and Ao Shaoan's status in Hong Kong. Qin Feng whispered to Ao Shaoan and revealed his identity. He was afraid that the Hong gang members would come and make trouble. After all, The last time Qin Feng came to Hong Kong for a mission, he was hunted down by the Hong Gang for 3 days. It was too scary. A.O. Xiaowan, who was struggling frantically, suddenly froze. He turned around and looked at Qin Feng in surprise. You were talking nonsense. You're not allowed to insult him. Qin Feng's mouth twitched. What insult? Was it because of his appearance? Xiaowan, I will explain to you later. Let's continue filming. When I have time, I will go to the Hong Gang to find you and have a drink with your brother. When your brother saw me, he was so happy that he stomped a few holes in the courtyard. Qin Feng said a lot of things quickly. A.O. Xiaowan's expression changed again and again. A.O. Xiaowan had begun to believe Qin Feng. Last time, Qin Feng had changed his identity to Xiao Feng to do a mission in Hong Kong. A.O. Xiaowan thought that Qin Feng had changed his identity again this time. A.O. Xiaowan was very excited. After Qin Feng left, she had not contacted A.O. Xiaowan for a long time. She looked forward to seeing Qin Feng again every day. Now that Qin Feng was really back, A.O. Xiaowan was as happy as seeing a family member. Hero, I know I was wrong. Please forgive me this time. I'm willing to follow you like an ox or a horse. You can do whatever you want. After knowing Qin Feng's identity, A.O. Xiaowan changed into another person. She did not resist. Instead, she took the initiative to lie in Qin Feng's arms and hit Qin Feng's chest with a shy and charming look. A.O. Xiaowan regretted it very much. If he had known this would happen, he would have dressed up like a lady and went shopping. This time, he scared Qin Feng again. Qin Feng was not scared, but everyone present was scared. Not only were they scared, but some people even fainted. Where was the non-mainstream young lady with the yellow afro? Where was the arrogant and unreasonable A.O. Xiaowan of the Hong Gang? Where was the big sister who scared the children under 6 years old into silence when the parents mentioned her name? Chapter 9:17. A.O. Xiaowan changed. First, she lay in Qin Feng's arms and beat his chest. Then, she stomped her feet and twisted her waist to act coquettishly. Finally, she pouted and clenched her fists on both sides of her face. As she spun her little fists, she blinked her big eyes at Qin Feng. Qin Feng swallowed a lot of saliva out of fear. Qin Feng resisted the urge to kick A.O. Xiaowan away a dozen times. Manager Gu still hadn't come back to his senses. His plan was to let Qin Feng offend A.O. Xiaowan, then be hunted down by the entire Hong sect and eventually driven out of Hong Kong. But things had completely gone off track and gone to an unimaginable extreme. This was something that Manager Gu couldn't figure out, even after pulling at the hair on his bald head. Eldest miss. Your medicine can't. Why don't you go back with us first? Brother Long looked at A.O. Xiaowan, trembling. He wanted to persuade A.O. Xiaowan to go back. Otherwise, if Head Wu Chang knew that eldest miss was hugged and touched by a man, he would definitely kill Brother Long and the others. Shut up. I don't need you to meddle in my affairs. Hero, I love you so much. A.O. Xiaowan suddenly realized that she was still lying in Qin Feng's arms. She quickly turned back into a cute and helpless little girl, scaring a group of people into fainting. Manager Gu couldn't stand it anymore. What the hell was going on? Did Qin Feng have some kind of innate, domineering aura? Any woman who stayed with him would be brainwashed? Cut! Manager Gu hurriedly stopped them and ran to Qin Feng's side. After looking at A.O. Xiaowan with a smile, he pulled Qin Feng aside to talk alone. Zheng Shuai, your acting 2 days ago was very good. Why can't you do it today? Is it because there are too many onlookers that it affects your performance? Is it? I think I acted very well. Why can't I do it? Qin Feng said, playing dumb. You didn't act according to what I said. I asked you to teach those gangsters a lesson so that it would be realistic. How can you keep flirting with girls without doing anything? This doesn't conform to reality. Chairman Gu was extremely anxious. Qin Feng looked as if he had suddenly realized something. He shook his head and said, Oh, I'm afraid that if I understand, Boss Gu wants me to beat him up, right? Right. You have to be ruthless and not hold back. Otherwise, you won't be able to meet the standards I want, Manager Gu said seriously. Qin Feng chuckled as he walked back into the crowd. Chairman Gu also followed. Brothers of the Hong sect, Boss Gu has told me that he will beat you up during the show. Do you have any objections? Once Qin Feng spoke, Chairman Gu was so shocked that he almost fell to his knees. Chairman Gu usually said different things to deceive everyone. He didn't expect Qin Feng to say it out loud. Brother Long was immediately unhappy. He glared at Manager Gu and roared, "Gu, what the hell are you talking about? That's not what we said on the phone. Hong Sek's daughter is here today. I will kill anyone who dares to touch her." Pa! Elder Brother Long wanted to flatter Ao Shaowan in public. Elder Brother Long felt that he had done a good job of flattering Ao Shaowan. Just as he was feeling proud of himself, Ao Shaowan suddenly rushed up and slapped him. "Miss, why did you slap me?" Brother Long was dumbfounded. "Slap you? If you keep forcing me, I will chop you to death. Listen up, all of you. Zheng Shuai's words are my words. No, his words are more powerful than mine. If anyone dares to question Zheng Shuai's words again, I will cut him into pieces and feed him to the fishes." Ao Shaowan's change was so fast that everyone was caught off guard. Brother Long covered his red and swollen face with his hands. He didn't blame Ao Shaowan for slapping him. No one in Hong Kong dared to resent Ao Shaowan. Brother Long felt wronged because why did Miss like Zheng Shuai? Apart from his name, which part of him was handsome? Brother Long felt that he was 100 times more handsome than Zheng Shuai. Why did Miss like him? Hee. Miss, you're right. Although Brother Long was unhappy with Zheng Shuai, he still put on a smile and said, "Zheng Shuai, it's our honor to be able to act with a big shot like you. You can slap us as much as you want. We'll be happy if you slap us." Ma Xin and the girls were speechless. What was he talking about? Why was Qin Feng so popular with women? What kind of woman would become an obedient little sheep in front of him? Could it be that this fellow's body was filled with wind essence oil? No, it was filled with knockout drugs. Yes, I can't let my brothers get beaten up for nothing. This is arranged by Chairman Gu, so I can't do anything about it. Chairman Gu has promised to pay for everyone's medical expenses and mental damage. If you guys are still not satisfied, why don't you give Chairman Gu a good beating? Hee, don't take it seriously. I'm just joking. Qin Feng said he was joking. However, judging from the expressions of the Hong Sek gangsters, they didn't take it as a joke. Chairman Gu could feel 20 pairs of eyes glaring at him. He was so scared that he almost wanted to run for his life. Chairman Gu was dumbfounded and couldn't utter a word. Qin Feng shouted at the staff, Come. Everyone get into position. Let's reshoot the scene." The staff was ready to reshoot the scene. Chairman Gu quickly recovered from his shock. He wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and said, Hee, Zheng Shuai, I thought about it. Actually, everyone acted well in the first part. I don't think there's a need to reshoot it. Chairman Gu had been looking for a chance to drive Zheng Shuai away. He couldn't wait for Zheng Shuai to beat up the Hong Sek gangsters. However, when the time came, Chairman Gu retreated without hesitation. What? You don't want to reshoot again? What do you mean by that? Are you trying to act like a big shot? Are you trying to make fun of us? Didn't you say that the movie wouldn't reach the standard of the movie if there were no fights? Why are you stopping now? Qin Feng's furious rebuke caused Chairman Gu to choke on his words. Ao Shaowan was even angrier than Qin Feng when she saw that Chairman Gu had angered Qin Feng. Hey, my idol is talking to you. Are you mute? Believe it or not, I'll ask the Hong Sek to go to your company and tear down your building. No one dared to doubt Ao Shaowan's words. Chairman Gu was so scared that his legs trembled. He regretted coming up with such a bad idea. He had dug a pit and gotten himself into it. I was afraid that everyone would be tired if they kept replaying the scene. I was afraid that Zheng Shuai would be tired. Chairman Gu hurriedly explained. Ao Shaowan thought about it and agreed. How could he let Big Brother Qin Feng be tired? Oomph. At least you know what's good for you. Big Brother Zheng Shuai, let's go rest. I'll take you to dinner, okay? We can go shopping. Ao Shaowan took the initiative to hold Qin Feng's arm. She used to shout when talking to others, but when talking to Qin Feng, her voice was so soft that it made people's hair stand on end. Hee. Okay. Since Miss One has something to do with Zheng Shuai, you guys can go and have fun. I'll give Mr. Zheng Shuai a day off and pay him as usual. Chairman Gu wiped away the cold sweat on his forehead and finally felt relieved. If Zheng Shuai really beat up the people of Hong's sect, would he still want to live? Ao Shaowan clapped happily. Qin Feng suddenly said with a cold face, "Since I'm a professional actor, I can't be afraid of hardships and tiredness. Before the movie reaches the standard I want, how can I settle for the second best? This is an insult to my acting skills and quality." Ao Shaowan was startled, but her reaction was extremely fast. Before the smile on Chairman Gu's face faded, Ao Shaowan slapped him. "How dare you insult Big Brother Zheng Shuai's acting skills and quality? Do you want to die?" Chairman Gu's eyes were filled with tears. She felt so wrong that she almost cried. "What did I insult Zheng Shuai? Didn't you just say that you want to take Zheng Shuai shopping and dinner?" Miss Wan, you don't want to go with Zheng Shuai." Before Chairman Gu could finish, Ao Shaowan jumped up and slapped Chairman Gu on the forehead. You shut up. I didn't say anything just now. I want you to continue filming until Big Brother Zheng Shuai is satisfied." Ao Shaowan's face changed faster than turning the page of a book. Chairman Gu was completely speechless. Under Ao Shaowan's strong pressure, Chairman Gu didn't dare to resist and reluctantly began to shoot again. Action! In a new take, Qin Feng made a dazzling appearance. The staff of the task force released another small thunderclap cannon. But this time, Qin Feng was prepared. He completely ignored the loud sound of the firecracker and leaped to the front of the people of Hong's sect. "You bastards! How dare you molest a young woman in broad daylight? Watch how powerful I, Hero Qin Feng, am." After saying his catchphrase, Qin Feng waved his palm. The 20 hooligans of Hong's sect didn't dare to dodge. They waited for Qin Feng to kick them to the ground. After falling to the ground, they screamed and begged Qin Feng for mercy. "Hero, we were wrong. We won't dare to do it again." Hero, don't draw your sword. I know that once your sword is unsheathed, it will see blood." Bang, 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 bang. After a series of chaotic sounds, Qin Feng had put down the people of Hong's sect. This time, Qin Feng was really fighting. It wasn't that he had a problem with Brother Long and the others. Qin Feng also thought that if he wanted to become an excellent film actor and win the Oscar Golden Deer Trophy, he had to act real. Brother Long and the others fell to the ground, screaming in pain. They weren't pretending. They were really in pain. Ao Shaowan suddenly threw away the machete in his hand. His arrogant and spoiled look changed. He clenched his small fist and trotted at Qin Feng like a love-struck fool. "Wow, Hero, you're amazing. I don't want to be your enemy. I want to be your companion." Qin Feng looked up at the sky at a 45-degree angle. His eyes were full of unruly light. "Have you decided? I'll have many women in my life. I've decided. As long as I'm in your heart, I'll be satisfied." Chapter 918. The hero saving the damsel in distress was supposed to be Snow, and the heroine was also Snow. In the end, Cher did not even make an appearance. Instead, the Hong Triad's non-mainstream big sister appeared. Mr. Gu wanted to die. He felt that his life was doomed from the moment he met Zheng Shuai. Crack. Qin Feng himself shouted to stop, but Ao Shaowan was still nestled in Qin Feng's arms and refused to come out. Ma Xin had long been an eyesore. She hurriedly ran up and dragged Ao Shaowan. "Hey, the show is over. Hurry up and leave. As a girl, don't you think it's embarrassing to be hugging a man in the middle of the street?" Ao Shaowan was stunned for a moment, and then her temper flared up. "Hey, who are you talking to? You're saying I'm indiscreet? You bitch, I won't let you leave Hong Kong today." Ao Shaowan's temper was very explosive. He picked up the machete on the ground and was about to start fighting. Ma Xin was not afraid of Ao Shaowan. Ever since Qin Feng taught her how to fight, Ma Xin felt that she was invincible. "Shaowan, stop!" Qin Feng called out to Ao Shaowan. Ao Shaowan immediately threw away the machete, got into Qin Feng's arms, and began to act like a spoiled child again. Qin Feng had a headache. He was almost schizophrenic because of Ao Shaowan. "Shaowan, this is my manager. You're not allowed to argue with her." Ao Shaowan glared at Ma Xin. It was clear that she was still a little unhappy, but she didn't dare to go against Qin Feng's words. She nodded her head in grievance and said, Xin, I'm sorry for what happened just now. Ma Xin was stunned for a moment. She really couldn't figure out what attracted Ao Shaowan to Qin Feng. He was able to subdue the daughter of the Hong sect within minutes. At this moment, Zhang Kuku also ran over. She was very depressed that she did not have a role in this scene. Feeling depressed, she also quarreled with Ao Shaowan. Qin Feng had just stopped the conflict between Ma Xin and Ao Shaowan when Ao Shaowan picked up the machete on the ground, ready to fight Zhang Kuku. Zhang Kuku had always been a big-breasted but brainless person. She also picked up a large machete, but she did not use it to fight Ao Shaowan. Zhang Kuku struggled to put the saber on her neck. She glared at Ao Shaowan and shouted, Throw away the saber in your hand, or I'll die in front of you. Ao Shaowan was instantly dumbfounded. Even a woman like her had lost to Zhang Kiki. The fans were still watching the scene. The scene of the women fighting for Zhang Shuai's affections fell into everyone's eyes. They felt that this scene was even more exciting than the previous scene. Many of them were so shocked by Zhang Kuku's last words that they almost peed their pants. Many people laughed, but CEO Gu was crying. He was about to die of depression. Ever since they met Qin Feng, he and Guo Tao had thought of all sorts of ways to chase Qin Feng away. He found one of the 4 young masters of Hong Kong, Lu Hai, and in the end, Lu Hai recognized Zhang Shuai as his big brother. Then Guo Tao filmed a video to frame Zhang Shuai, and in the end, Zhang Shuai was furious. Guo Tao was beaten up and even opened the door. Now he wanted to use the Freemasons to chase Zhang Shuai away, but in the end, the young miss of the Freemasons took a fancy to Zhang Shuai. Bosco didn't even have the energy to complain. He suddenly felt a deep sense of despair. He felt that he wouldn't be able to chase Zhang Shuai away. The movie, Hedonist Sovereign, which he had invested over $1 billion into, had been completely wasted. However, Bosco was not in the mood to think about these problems because he suddenly found himself surrounded by Brother Long and more than 10 people. Be Brother Long, it's really hard on you guys. Don't worry, I won't mistreat you. I'll pay you double the money. Slap. As soon as Bosco finished speaking, Brother Long gave him a big slap. Money my ass. Do you think we're beggars? You're playing us like monkeys for a little bit of money? You said you won't beat us up for real, but you secretly asked Big Brother Zhang Shuai to beat us up. Gu, you're really something. Why didn't I realize you're this kind of person? Brothers, give him a good beating. The Freemasons of the Freemasons were beaten up badly by Qin Feng, so they vented all their pent-up anger on Bosco. Bosco rolled on the ground in pain, but no one cared about him. Today's filming was over, so Qin Feng and the other celebrities had nothing to do. However, they couldn't leave in a short period of time because the fans had surrounded them. Unless Qin Feng and the girls stepped over the heads of the fans, they wouldn't be able to leave. Zhang Shuai, is that a movie or a TV series? It's so funny. It's just like Stephen Chow's ridiculous style. I must watch it when it's done. Everyone was asking Qin Feng about the movie that was being filmed. This was a great opportunity for free publicity. Qin Feng and the girls enthusiastically introduced the movie to everyone. Dear fans, the pretty girls, and Cher are currently filming the movie Hedonist Sovereign. At this rate, it should be released at the end of the month. When that time comes, I hope that everyone can take care of us and help the box office of Hedonist Sovereign skyrocket. The crowd was noisy, but Qin Feng's voice seemed to have a penetrating power and fell into everyone's ears. Zhang Shuai was the most humble celebrity they had ever seen. As a female fan of Zhang Shuai, she felt extremely proud and secure. Didn't the assistant director teach a female fan a lesson not long ago? What happened in the end? Zhang Shuai slapped the female fan away. Zhang Shuai, you're perfect to be the male lead of Hedonist Sovereign. I'm looking forward to this movie. I've read the novel Hedonist Sovereign, and I like the depth and connotation of this novel very much. Zhang Shuai fits the image of the handsome male lead in the novel very well. I'm going to post on my moments and let everyone know about this movie. There was a type of fan called die-hard fans. There was another type of fan that was even crazier and more destructive than die-hard fans, called zheng shui fans. Although Qin Feng had only been in the entertainment industry for less than a month, a group of wild and passionate fans had emerged in China's entertainment industry. These fans were willing to stab the fans of other celebrities for zheng shui's sake, and the fans of other celebrities had to stay far away from zheng shui's fans. Rao Sherman, Zhang Kuku, and Cher were shocked by zheng shui's fans. The cohesiveness of his fans and their Chinibu ability were unparalleled. The crowd lowered their heads and took out their phones to post on their moments to help Qin Feng promote the movie. The power of these fans should not be underestimated. When they spread the news to their friends would find new friends. They were trying to set off another wave of zheng shui's popularity. Qin Feng, it's about time. Let's go back now. If these fans get agitated, the situation will get out of hand. Ma Xinxin quickly whispered into Qin Feng's ear after she regained her composure. Ao Shaowan was displeased when he saw this scene. He charged at Ma Xinxin again, as if he was going to fight her. Qin Feng was not afraid of these crazy fans. He was more afraid that Ao Shaowan and Zhang Kuku would quarrel with each other. Zhang Kuku had threatened to kill herself. Who knew what kind of stupid thing she would do next time? Miss Wan, we've cut off that idiot's hair. Do you want to teach him a lesson? Brother Long led a group of Hong triad members to Ao Shaowan's side. Everyone hastily turned to look at Chairman Gu, and they were instantly stunned. Boss Gu's long and elegant hair had been cut by Brother Long until he was bald. He wasn't completely bald because Brother Long's hair-cutting skills were limited. There were patches of baldness on Boss Gu's head, as if he had been chewed by a dog. Chairman Gu's face was swollen, and there were footprints all over his body. However, he did not care about the pain on his body at all. He held a mirror and looked at himself with tears streaming down his face. This scene amused the women and made them double over with laughter. They realized that the bald Chairman Gu was not much more handsome than Zheng Shui. Big brother Zheng Shui, do you want to beat that guy up again? Ao Shaowan asked Qin Feng. Qin Feng looked at Chairman Gu, who seemed to have changed into a different person. He could not help but lament the viciousness of these women. Chairman Gu had been tortured to this extent, but Ao Shaowan still wanted to beat him up. Qin Feng ignored Chairman Gu and left with a group of women. The fans were seething with excitement. They followed Qin Feng wherever he went. Many fans rushed over to take photos with Qin Feng or take advantage of the chaos to take advantage of Qin Feng. However, there seemed to be an invisible air current around Qin Feng. Once the fans got within 5 meters of him, they couldn't go any further. After Qin Feng's repeated persuasion, Ao Shaowan finally followed Brother Long and the others back to the Hong sex base. Qin Feng brought the women back to Hong Kong International Hotel. The fans were blocked by the hotel's security guards. However, the fans were so crazy that the hotel had no choice but to close the door. Qin Feng and the women had already gathered in Rao Sherman's room. However, Cher went back to her room as soon as she returned to the hotel. She had been a loner these days and did not like to hang out with Qin Feng and the others. In the room, Zhang Kuku was jumping around on the sofa. She kept talking about today's filming. The sofa was almost destroyed by her footsteps. Qin Feng and the other two ignored Zhang Kuku and sat on the sofa to watch TV. Wow, Zheng Shui, you're popular again. Rao Sherman screamed as she scrolled through her phone. Ma Xinxin seemed to have realized something. She quickly took out her phone and opened Weibo. Are these fans crazy? The video of us filming on the set has been uploaded. It has more than 10 million views, hundreds of thousands of shares, and millions of comments. This is going to be a big hit. Rao Sherman and Ma Xinxin were stunned by the influence and craziness of Qin Feng's fans. Zhang Kuku stopped jumping and took out her phone to scroll through the video. In the room, the screams of the 3 women were so loud that they almost created a hole in the roof. Extra, extra. I bumped into Zheng Shui, pretty girl group, and Cher at the pedestrian street today. They were filming a movie, and it's super funny. I'll regret it for the rest of my life if I don't watch it. The movie Hedonist Sovereign, starring Zheng Shui, has started filming. It's estimated to be released at the end of this month. Everyone, Please go and support Zheng Shuai when the time comes. Chapter 919. The filming went smoothly for the next few days. Ao Shaoan visited Qin Feng every day. She wasn't supposed to be a character in this movie, but she was forced to play the female lead's role. Because of Ao Shaoan's arrival, CEO Gu didn't dare to offend Qin Feng anymore. CEO Gu's heart bled every day as he watched Qin Feng and the others turn the movie into a hodgepodge. His original plan was to get rid of Qin Feng and find another young and handsome actor to reshoot the movie. However, judging from the current situation, it was impossible to get rid of Qin Feng. Hence, Mr. Gu was prepared to throw away billions of yuan of investment. Snow became more and more reclusive. She came and went on her own every day. This was especially true when Qin Feng went to look for her to investigate further. She was wary of Qin Feng like a hungry wolf. She hid as far away from him as she could. Ao Shaoan and Ma Xin would bicker from time to time, but Ao Shaoan and Zhang Kuku had become good friends. The two of them acted together every day and were good at changing the plot and lines together. They were like a long-lost pair of beautiful sisters. Ao Shaoan's arrival changed a lot of things. On the whole, Qin Feng was very satisfied. He had always wanted President Gu to add sex scenes, but Rao Sherman and Shuai didn't agree. Now that Ao Shaoan was here, Qin Feng didn't even need to say anything. Ao Shaoan strongly requested to have sex scenes with Qin Feng cut. Today's filming was completed successfully after CEO Gu stopped. Zhang Kuku and Ao Shaoan held hands and ran to CEO Gu excitedly. These days, the two girls would go to CEO Gu to ask questions after filming. Hey Gu, how was our performance today? Ao Shaoan had been addressing CEO Gu like this ever since he joined the crew, but CEO Gu didn't even flare up. Good performance. You've improved since yesterday. Manager Gu flattered Ao Shaoan with a smile. The most painful thing for him now was not the fact that he had thrown away billions of yuan, but the fact that he could not be angry even though he had thrown away billions of yuan. He had to lie to Ao Shaoan and Zhang Kuku every day. Ao Shaoan and Zhang Kuku were overjoyed. The two girls patted Mr. Gu's head as if they were patting a lackey. Not bad, not bad. You have good taste. As long as you continue to work hard, I believe you will become the most influential director in China. Boss Gu's heart was bleeding nonstop. He felt that after this movie was released, he would become the most psychotic director. Thank you for your kind words, Miss Wan. CEO Gu still couldn't show his emotions, so he kept a smile on his face. Zhang Kuku and Ao Shaoan's vanity was satisfied, so they happily ran back to Qin Feng's side. After the two ladies left, Chairman Gu patted his chest and panted heavily. He almost had a heart attack. After filming, the group returned to the hotel. Ao Shaoan also wanted to go back with Qin Feng, but Qin Feng refused. Qin Feng didn't want to take Ao Shaoan back and watch her fight with Ma Xin. After returning to the hotel, Qin Feng went into his room. It had been more than a month since the battle with the Dragon God. Qin Feng had to plan his future plans and make himself stronger as soon as possible. Hello, Lilia. How have you been recently? Lilia called Qin Feng as soon as he laid down on the bed. I'm fine, don't worry too much. Why did you go to Hong Kong to film? Don't tell me your secret mission this time is to become a celebrity? Ever since Qin Feng rushed to Zhongchuan City to rescue Liya and destroyed the Lone Dragon Gang, Zhongchuan City had been peaceful. Liya had been busy for a while, so she had a lot of free time recently. Liya's voice carried a trace of laziness, as if she was a young wife acting coquettishly to her husband. Qin Feng's body softened when he heard it. How did you know I was filming in Hong Kong? Qin Feng didn't remember telling Liya about this. Liya's laughter came over. My Qin Feng. How do you think I know? You or Zheng Shuai fans are crazy, aren't they? Recently, as long as I open up entertainment-related videos and websites, it's basically all about you. It's either your songs, the Zheng Shuai beating people up incident, or the live video of you filming the movie Hedonist Sovereign. Liya was stunned by Qin Feng's ability. Qin Feng's original identity was already very impressive, the azure dragon of China's 9 dragons. In the end, Qin Feng was not satisfied with the current situation and insisted on making himself ugly to enter the entertainment industry. In the end, he became a hot topic all over the country, trampling on all the popular singers and A-list celebrities. It had been a long time since the entire entertainment industry had heard of the hot news of other celebrities, because the news of Zheng Shuai had dominated the screen. Leah's voice was filled with excitement and cheerfulness. She was proud of Qin Feng. Although Qin Feng felt that everything Leah said was the truth, Qin Feng was still a little embarrassed to be praised like this. The celebrity mission is not arranged by the Dragon Gate. It's just a small wish of mine. Qin Feng did not intentionally hide it from Leah. I didn't know that you have a dream of becoming a celebrity. You're the ancestor of all weirdos. It's fine if you want to be a celebrity, but why did you have to change your ugly appearance to enter the entertainment industry? I've never seen someone like you. Leah's voice became more and more flirtatious. Qin Feng couldn't help but recall the time when he performed acupuncture on Leah. It made his heart itch. By the way, little Leah, although we destroyed the Lone Dragon Gang, the people of the Verdant sect escaped. You can't let your guard down these days. You have to be vigilant. If you're really in danger, open the lover's lock that I gave you. Qin Feng had guessed that the people of the Verdant sect would continue to seek revenge when he went to Zhongchuan City to save Leah. Therefore, Qin Feng gave the lover's lock to Leah. The lover's lock was a reward from the system mission. After the lover's lock was opened, the wearer would possess 80% of Qin Feng's strength for half an hour. With Ma Xin's help, Qin Feng had already recovered his stage 9 inner chi. Even if he only possessed 80% of his strength, he could still defend against the attacks of martial artists below stage 9 inner chi. All right, I'll be careful. You have to take care of yourself, too. Come and find me when you're free. I'll let you sleep on the bed tonight. Leah's voice became softer and softer. Finally, she shyly hung up the phone. Qin Feng's body was burning with passion because of Leah. He was so excited that he almost rode the flaming golden eagle to fight her. Qin Feng resisted the urge. He returned to his room to plan his next move. Qin Feng entered the Hedonist sovereign system with a thought. Master. As soon as he entered, Little Pig, the 3 battle pets, and the 2 heroes, Shimen Shui and Ouyang Feng, surrounded him. Qin Feng greeted everyone and then checked his current Hedonist points and mission information. Qin Feng had a total of 132,000 Hedonist points. His original plan was to complete as many missions as possible within the next 3 months and collect 500,000 Hedonist points to activate the Star Technology interface. However, after Qin Feng looked carefully, he realized that he had a total of 8 unfinished missions. Among these 8 missions, there were very few that could be completed within 2 months. The mission to devour the Sovereign Superstar system rewards 100,000 Hedonist points. The I'm a Superstar chain mission rewards 70,000 Hedonist points in total. The mission to complete the Martial Arts Alliance leader rewards 100,000 Hedonist points. The main mission of the founder rewards 300,000 Hedonist points. The mission to destroy the William family rewards 200,000 Hedonist points. Qin Feng felt that he might be able to complete these 5 missions if he tried. However, they were extremely difficult. If he could complete all 5 missions, he would receive 770,000 Hedonist points, which would be enough to unlock the Star Technology interface. However, to complete all 5 of these extremely difficult missions within 2 months, even Qin Feng felt that it was impossible. After a round of analysis, Qin Feng had some ideas to change his previous plan. It was not realistic to gather 500,000 Hedonist points to unlock the Star Technology interface within 2 months. Moreover, even if he managed to gather enough Hedonist points to unlock the Star Technology interface, Qin Feng could imagine how expensive the items inside would be. If a random A-grade battle equipment cost hundreds of thousands of Hedonist points, how would Qin Feng be able to buy it? Master, you could try forging the Galaxy Flying Sword now. While Qin Feng was hesitating, Little Pig's voice sounded. Qin Feng's eyes lit up. He had been thinking about the Star Technology recently and had forgotten about the Galaxy Flying Sword. This was an immortal equipment that had appeared in the system's limited edition interface. Once it was forged, its power would be unimaginable. Ever since Qin Feng had spent 100,000 Hedonist points to unlock the right to forge the Starry Sky flying sword, he had been collecting materials for forging the Starry Sky flying sword. During the Ghost Mountain Ancient Martial Ruins expedition, Qin Feng had obtained quite a few materials. Afterwards, Qin Feng had stored some of them in the 10,000 Treasures Pavilion. Now that a month had passed, those materials had automatically leveled up. Qin Feng entered the Million Treasure Pavilion interface. Before he challenged the Dragon God, Qin Feng spent 50,000 Hedonist points to upgrade the Million Treasure Pavilion from a 1-star to a 2-star Million Treasure Pavilion. The 2-star Million Treasure Pavilion could now store Grade 2 Spirit Pills, Orange Grade Spiritual Equipment, and some high-grade materials. In the Million Treasure Pavilion, the 20 materials that Qin Feng put in last time had matured and were flashing with different lights. Qin Feng's thoughts moved slightly, and these materials all appeared in his hands. Compared to when he put them in last time, they were obviously a grade higher, and the spiritual chi fluctuations in the materials were more obvious. Grade 3 Purple Star Sand, Grade 3 Black Luo Wood, Medium Grade Spirit Stone, Yuan Meteor Stone, 100-Year Ice Crystal, Gold Bar, 3 Heaven and Earth Yuan Stones, Grade 3 Black Rock Sand, Grade 3 Amethyst. These were the main materials and some supplementary materials needed to forge the Galaxy Flying Sword. Among them, the Grade 3 materials were the ones that Qin Feng put in the Million Treasure Pavilion to store and upgrade. Chapter 920. After filling all 20 empty spots in the 2-star Myriad Treasure Pavilion, Qin Feng tossed in 10 low-grade spirit stones as energy for the storage and retreated with satisfaction. Little Pig, have you gathered all the materials for the cosmic flying sword? Qin Feng asked. After this batch of materials has been stored and upgraded, it'll be more or less complete. I'm only missing the last important material, the Saint's Soul Stone. The new batch of materials was estimated to be able to be upgraded within a month. That will be half a month earlier than the time to challenge the Divine Dragon. In terms of time, there was still time to forge the cosmic flying sword. However, what the hell was the last missing material, the Saint's Soul Stone? What's the Saint's Soul Stone? Where can I get it? Qin Feng hastily asked Little Pig. Now, the Saint's Soul Stone was the only material needed to forge the cosmic flying sword. Qin Feng was a little impatient. Master, the Saint's Soul Stone is a very rare and precious saint stone. Legend has it that it's a type of spirit stone used by Nuwa to mend the heavens. This stone can allow the master to communicate with the spiritual weapon he forged and reach the stage of becoming one with the sword. If you want to control the cosmic flying sword to fly and kill with the sword, you must add the Saint's Soul Stone during the forging process. Qin Feng understood the importance of the Saint's Soul Stone. Without the Saint's Soul Stone, the cosmic flying sword would be a spiritual weapon similar to a purple grade equipment. Where can I find the Saint's Soul Stone? I'm not sure about that. It's another matter whether you have it on Earth or not, Little Pig said with a pout. Qin Feng was taken aback. Why did Little Pig's words sound so awkward? What do you mean we're on Earth? Which planet did you come from? Qin Feng questioned Little Pig. Then, he saw a purple ring-shaped electric light hovering above Little Pig's head. Qin Feng became more and more curious about the system. Could this thing have fallen to Earth from another planet? However, no matter how Qin Feng interrogated, Little Pig refused to say anything. At the same time, Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo were sitting on the sofa in the living room, chatting about private matters. Sister Ling was resting in the inner room. Only Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo were in the living room. They were dressed casually and nestled on the sofa. Kiki, what do you think of Zheng Shuai? Rao Sherman didn't know what was wrong with her recently. Every time she had free time, Zheng Shuai's face would appear in her mind, and the topic of conversation would always be Zheng Shuai. Zhang Cuckoo's skirt was lifted to her waist. This was her style of sleeping on the sofa. Zhang Cuckoo muttered as she ate the grapes. Big bro Zheng Shuai is a good person. He's handsome, rich, skilled, and has a high social status. I really admire him. Rao Sherman rolled her eyes. She thought Zhang Kuku was talking nonsense again. How is Zheng Shuai handsome? I don't see how rich he is. Is he skilled? How is his status high? Rao Sherman felt that Zhang Kuku's evaluation of Zheng Shuai was not even close. But Zhang Kuku felt that every word Zhang Kuku used was extremely accurate, because they were talking about two completely different identities. These few days, Zhang Kuku had been secretly observing Qin Feng. From time to time, she would touch Qin Feng's face or call Zheng Shuai teacher Qiao Feng or Qin Feng. After some observation, Zhang Kuku was 99% sure that Zheng Shuai was an alias used by Qin Feng. Don't think I won't recognize you just because you jumped into the sea and put on a disguise. Let me tell you, I'm Detective Kiki. However, Rao Sherman didn't realize this. It was not that she was stupid, but she had been in a dilemma lately. She already had Qin Feng in her heart, but Zheng Shuai's position was slowly taken away. This kind of feeling was torturous, especially for a conservative and devoted woman like Rao Sherman. Although nothing had happened between Rao Sherman and Zheng Shuai, Rao Sherman felt as if she was having an affair. Sherman, you've been talking about big bro Zheng Shuai lately. Do you like him? I'll call him over now, and you can confess your love to him. Big bro Zheng Shuai will definitely say yes to you. Zhang Kuku threw away the half-eaten grapes and ran out of the sofa excitedly. Rao Sherman was so scared that she almost had a heart attack. She hastily stopped Zhang Kuku. You damn girl, when did I say something like that? If you dare to go out, don't even think about coming back today. Zhang Kuku's hand was already on the door handle. She hesitated for a moment before she ran back to Rao Sherman and sat down beside her. Sherman, how can you go back on your words? You're wrong. Since young, our teachers and parents have taught us to be an honest child. Zhang Kuku put on a straight face and lectured Rao Sherman in a lecturing tone. Rao Sherman wished she could kick this silly girl away. What do you mean by going back on my words? I've never said anything like that. You're the one who forced it on me. Rao Sherman was so anxious that her face turned red. She was afraid that Zhang Kuku would tell Zheng Shuai about it. Sherman, do you like big bro Zheng Shuai or not? Zhang Kuku grumbled. I don't like him. Rao Sherman felt a little guilty when she said those words. How can you not like big bro Zheng Shuai? How can you not like him? What's going to happen to Kuku? My future happiness is gone. Zhang Kuku was so anxious that she started to pull her hair. Rao Sherman rolled her eyes. It's my business whether I like him or not. What has it got to do with your happiness? Hurry up and take your medicine. Rao Sherman felt that Zhang Kuku was going crazy again. This girl would feel uncomfortable if she didn't go crazy at least 3 times a day. On the other hand, Zhang Kuku was very serious. How could you be crazy? Zhang Kuku knew that Zheng Shuai was Zheng Shuai. That was why she wanted to matchmake Rao Sherman with Zheng Shuai. Zhang Kuku had said that Sherman would be in charge of finding a boyfriend from now on. Zhang Kuku planned to compromise herself and share a boyfriend with Rao Sherman. Of course it has something to do with my happiness. If you're with Zheng Shuai, then I'll be with Zheng Shuai too, Zhang Kuku said seriously. Rao Sherman held her forehead. She felt that it was impossible to persuade Zhang Kuku with a normal mind. Rao Sherman changed her approach. Don't think about me and Zheng Shuai. It's impossible between us. Haven't you noticed? Zheng Shuai comes out of Ma Xinxin's room every morning, so I'm sure they're together. Qin Feng came out of Ma Xinxin's room every day, but he didn't sleep with Ma Xinxin at night. Qin Feng went to Ma Xinxin's room early in the morning and absorbed the poisonous gas in Ma Xinxin's body. After that, the two of them went out for a meal. However, he bumped into Rao Sherman and Zhang Kuku a few times and was misunderstood by Rao Sherman. Zhang Kuku curled her lips and said nonchalantly, "It's fine even if they have an affair." Zheng Shuai is not only having an affair with Ma Xinxin, he has affairs with many other women. You know that. Zhang Kuku was referring to Qin Feng. She knew that Qin Feng had affairs with teacher Chang Exine, Huayin, Lu Bingbing, and even Dongfang Qin Shui when she went to Provincial Capital University for her concert. Rao Sherman was on the verge of a mental breakdown. She wished she could pry open Zhang Kuku's brain and see what was inside. Rao Sherman could not understand Zhang Kuku's words, so she decided to ignore her. I'm going to take a shower now. You can continue your crazy ramblings. Rao Sherman was drenched in cold sweat after being interrogated by Zhang Kuku. The sound of running water could be heard from the bathroom. Zhang Kuku sat on the sofa and rolled her eyes. Suddenly, she took out her phone and made a call with a smile on her face. I'm sorry, you've called the wrong number. Qin Feng received a call from Zhang Kuku just when he was done planning his next 2 months. Qin Feng hung up the call before Zhang Kuku could say anything. Qin Feng patted his chest and heaved a sigh of relief. He knew Zhang Kuku's illness must be acting up again since she called him at this hour. Qin Feng's cell phone rang again before he could breathe a sigh of relief. It was Rao Sherman. Sherman, what's the matter? Qin Feng changed his attitude, and his voice was as gentle as water. Heavy breathing could be heard from the other end of the phone. Then, Zhang Kuku complained, Stupid Qin Feng. Stupid Qin Feng. Why did you hang up on me the moment you answered my call? Why did you try to please Sherman after you answered her call? The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. It was too late for him to hang up now. However, in the next second, Qin Feng's expression changed as he realized another serious problem. So it's Kuku. Did you call me just now? Oh no. Also, who were you scolding just now? Qin Feng? Who's that? Zhang Kuku blurted out Qin Feng's name out of excitement. Since Qin Feng refused to admit it, Zhang Kuku stopped calling him by that name. Stop pretending, Zheng Shuai. You answered my call and said I called the wrong number. Did you forget to save my number? How could you do this? You're discriminating against me. I can sue you in court. Qin Feng regretted answering Rao Sherman's call. He should have given it more thought. Rao Sherman called him right after Zhang Kuku's call. It was obviously a trap. When did I discriminate against you? Don't accuse an innocent person, Qin Feng said seriously. You only answer Sherman's call, but not mine. Isn't it because my breasts are too big and you look down on a beauty with big breasts like me? You're discriminating against me, Zhang Kuku said in a more serious tone than Qin Feng. The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. He thought he was already shameless enough. Today, he finally met someone more shameless than him. How could she praise him indirectly? Ahem. Kuku, I'm busy. If there's nothing else, I'll hang up now. Oh, so you're busy. Go ahead then. Sherman asked me to invite you to play games with me. I'll reject her on your behalf. Huh? I almost forgot. I'm done with my work. Are you guys in your rooms? I'll go and find you guys now. Zhang Kuku gritted her teeth when she heard the busy tone on the phone. What's wrong with Qin Feng's eyes? How am I worse than Sherman? Chapter 921. Zhang Kuku was infuriated. The consequences of her anger were terrifying. In a fit of rage, Zhang Kuku took off her spaghetti strap dress and paced back and forth in her underwear. Zhang Kuku planned to ask Qin Feng whether her breasts were big or not. Barely half a minute after Qin Feng hung up the phone, Zhang Kuku heard the sound of the door ringing. Ayo. Sorry, wrong room. Holy shit. Kiki, are you guys having a lingerie show? As soon as the door opened, Qin Feng was so scared that he prepared to leave. He saw a woman in only her underwear standing at the door and thought he knocked on the wrong door. However, when he took a closer look, he realized that it was the crazy Zhang Kuku. Zhang Kuku didn't mind being stared at by Qin Feng at all. She even puffed out her chest on purpose. She wanted to show off the most prominent part of her body and let Qin Feng know her advantage. Big brother Zheng Shuai, come in quickly. It's not good to let others see me like this. In any case, Zhang Kuku still had a bottom line. She was only willing to let Qin Feng look at her, but no other man could. Qin Feng stood at the door and hesitated for a long time. Qin Feng didn't dare to enter. He was afraid that this was another trap set by Zhang Kuku. He couldn't understand this woman's thoughts at all. Brother Zheng Shuai, come in quickly. Zhang Kuku's voice was seductive, and she struck a sexy pose. Her long legs were so long that they almost reached her neck. Qin Feng didn't dare to look at Zhang Kuku's breasts because they were too magnificent. Qin Feng thought that Zhang Kuku's bra was too small. Ahem. Where's Sherman? Sherman has gone out. I'm the only woman in the house. Come in and play with me. Zhang Cuckoo winked at Qin Feng and waved at him. That scene was weird to Qin Feng. I suddenly remembered that there's something I need to deal with. I'll come back later. He didn't dare to stay in the same room with Zhang Cuckoo. He was afraid that Zhang Cuckoo would push him down. I'm just teasing you. Sherman is here too. Come on in. Zhang Kiki complained angrily. What was wrong with Qin Feng's eyes? He doesn't even want a big-breasted beauty like me for free? Was there something wrong with this man? If he wasn't sick in the head, then his lower body was sick. Cuckoo, it's winter. Hurry up and put on your clothes. Don't catch a cold. Qin Feng couldn't help but shift his gaze between Zhang Cuckoo's perky buttocks and chest. Zhang Cuckoo was comforted by Qin Feng's passionate gaze. She giggled and said, "There's an air conditioner in the house. What are you afraid of? Why don't I take off my bra too?" Kiki, can you stop scaring me? What do you need my help with? I'll promise you everything, okay? Qin Feng was so scared that he almost knelt down. This woman couldn't have installed a camera in the room, taken off her clothes to seduce him, and then accused him of rape, right? Zhang Cuckoo pouted unhappily. She suddenly pounced on Qin Feng and said, "Then watch TV with me. I want to ride on your neck." Qin Feng was really scared. He ran to the bathroom like a wisp of smoke. He planned to hide in the bathroom for a while and come out when Rauscherman came. "Kiki, I'm having a stomachache. I'll go and squat for a while before accompanying you." Qin Feng had already rushed to the bathroom door. Zhang Cuckoo was so scared that she screamed, Zheng Shuai, don't go in. Rauscherman is taking a bath inside." Qin Feng was stunned at the bathroom door, but he quickly regained his composure. He was sure that Zhang Cuckoo was lying to him. He would never fall for her little tricks. "Sherman is taking a bath? That's great. I'll accompany her." Qin Feng grinned as he opened the bathroom door. Zhang Cuckoo was stunned by Qin Feng's words. She thought Qin Feng was a great gentleman, but it turned out that he was so wretched when he revealed his fox's tail. Qin Feng stood at the bathroom door with one of his feet dangling in the air. He was completely dumbfounded when he saw the scene in the bathroom. Rauscherman is really taking a bath. Didi, get out of here. Dee, close your eyes. Rauscherman's shriek came from the bathroom. Zhang Cuckoo covered her ears because it was too scary. Qin Feng did not react to it because he was too captivated by the beautiful scenery in front of him. Zheng Shuai, save me. It was evident that Rauscherman had just finished her bath. Her body was covered with sparkling water droplets, and the floor was also wet. Rauscherman slipped and fell into Qin Feng's arms. Qin Feng did not think too much. He instinctively extended his arms and hugged Rauscherman's body tightly. Her skin was smooth, and her fragrance assailed his nostrils. He felt like he was dreaming. Dee, hurry up and carry me to my room. I am cold." Rauscherman's body was shivering. Qin Feng didn't know if she was shivering because of the cold or fear. When Qin Feng regained his consciousness, he couldn't help but peek at Rauscherman in his arms. Rauscherman's skin was as fair as snow with a tinge of pink. Her face was even more beautiful than a lotus flower. She was definitely a stunner. Qin Feng calmed himself down. Now was not the time to act recklessly. He hastily pulled a bath towel and draped it over Rauscherman. Then he carried her to the sofa in the living room. "Qin Feng, why you peeped at Sherman while she was bathing? Why, you're too shameless." Zhang Cuckoo glared at Qin Feng with righteous indignation. Rauscherman did not even care about Zhang Cuckoo's name. She was so embarrassed that she wished she could dig a hole and hide in it. "I'll go to my room." Don't peep." Rauscherman immediately ran to her room after lying down on the sofa. When she passed by Zhang Cuckoo, she almost tripped again. "Cuckoo, what are you doing? Hurry up and put on your clothes." Rauscherman reminded Zhang Cuckoo before she ran back to her room. She didn't care whether Zhang Cuckoo was willing to put on her clothes or not. The living room suddenly became quiet. Qin Feng and Zhang Cuckoo stared at each other. The atmosphere became strange. "Cuckoo, did you trick me on purpose?" Qin Feng was so angry that his nose became crooked. He knew that Zhang Cuckoo was up to no good, but he didn't expect that he would still fall into this girl's trap. Zhang Cuckoo felt wronged. She didn't trick Qin Feng. She warned Qin Feng that there was someone in the bathroom. It was Qin Feng who barged into the bathroom. "You pervert. You're the one who peeped at Sherman bathing, and you put the shit on Cuckoo's head." Cuckoo's head is for arranging flowers. Zhang Cuckoo pouted and glared at Qin Feng. Qin Feng carried Zhang Cuckoo and threw her on the sofa. "You still don't want to admit it? Let's see how stubborn you can be." Qin Feng pressed Zhang Cuckoo's shoulder with one hand and scratched her flat belly with the other. He finally found a way to subdue Zhang Cuckoo. It turned out that this girl was afraid of tickling. Zhang Cuckoo was so amused that tears rolled down her cheeks. She struggled on the sofa with all her might. The sofa cushion and sofa cover were kicked away by Zhang Cuckoo, but Qin Feng refused to stop. "Do you admit that you tricked me? When Sherman comes out later, you'll have to admit your mistake to her and clear my name," Qin Feng said sternly. "Ha! I didn't do anything wrong. It's your lust. Ha! Stop it now." Cuckoo's stomach is hurting from laughing so hard. "You're a bad woman. If you don't want to confess, I'll increase your punishment." To prevent Zhang Cuckoo's slender legs from kicking, Qin Feng clamped her legs between his legs. Then he pressed Zhang Cuckoo's shoulder with one hand and increased the strength of his other hand. Zhang Cuckoo's legs could no longer kick, and her upper body was restrained by Qin Feng. She was laughing so hard that she couldn't speak even if she wanted to confess. What are you guys doing?" "Zheng Shuai, let go of Cuckoo." Rao Sherman walked out of the living room. She was dressed in conservative black pajamas. When she saw the scene unfolding in the living room, she was so shocked that her eyeballs almost popped out of their sockets. Qin Feng hastily stopped. Only then did he realize that Zhang Cuckoo had lost her undergarments due to her overexertion. Sob. "Sherman, you have to stand up for Cuckoo." It was Qin Feng who wanted to peep at you bathing, but he forced Cuckoo to take the blame. Zhang Cuckoo didn't even notice that she was naked. She ran to Rao Sherman and twisted her waist to act coquettishly. Rao Sherman quickly covered Zhang Cuckoo with the wool blanket on the sofa. Then she scolded Zheng Shuai with a cold expression. "This Zheng Shuai is too outrageous today. How dare he come into my room and act like a beast?" Rao Sherman swallowed the words that were on the tip of her tongue. Rao Sherman was struck by a bolt of lightning. Suddenly, she realized something. She stared at Zhang Cuckoo and asked, What did you call Zheng Shuai just now?" "What?" "Qin Feng." Zhang Cuckoo felt that there was no need to hide it anymore. There was another important reason. Even Zhang Cuckoo herself wasn't sure whether Zheng Shuai was Qin Feng or not. She wanted to confirm it now. Zheng Shuai had seen the two women's naked bodies today. If she could confirm that Zheng Shuai was not Qin Feng, she could kill him to silence him. "Why, you're Qin Feng? Oh, really?" As soon as Rao Sherman heard the name Qin Feng, her entire being felt strange. Her tall and slender body trembled, and there was a suppressed excitement in her voice. Qin Feng hesitated. He didn't know if it was a good or bad idea to reveal his identity now. Before Qin Feng could finish his words, Zhang Cuckoo fished out a fireball talisman and pressed it on Qin Feng's head. She said, "Tell me, are you Qin Feng's disguise? If you're not Qin Feng, I'll chant the incantation right now." "I am," Qin Feng answered without hesitation. What other choice did he have? Rao Sherman slapped her forehead and dragged Zhang Cuckoo away with a huff. She looked at Zheng Shuai again and asked, "Are you really Qin Feng?" "Sherman, I'm on a mission this time. So I'm using Zheng Shuai's identity as a celebrity. I didn't reveal my identity to you when you and Cuckoo went to Provincial Capital University for a concert. I was very happy when I saw you. I wanted to get close to you, but I didn't want to scare you. I didn't expect that we would film a movie together in Hong Kong." Rao Sherman's body trembled more and more violently after Qin Feng said a lot of sweet nothings. Rao Sherman had forgotten how long it had been since she last saw Qin Feng. They had not seen each other since she went to Acropolis City for the opening of Cloud City Hua Manor Phase 2. Chapter 922. Rao Sherman had always missed Qin Feng because Qin Feng meant a lot to her. When Rao Sherman was very young, it was Qin Feng who encouraged her to pursue her music career. Both of them reunited in Hong Kong after half a year of separation. At this moment, Rao Sherman was so excited that she couldn't speak. No wonder he admired teacher Xiao Feng, and no wonder he had a favorable impression of Zheng Shuai. It turned out that both of them were Qin Feng. Haha, I told you Zheng Shuai is Qin Feng. Hurry up and change your face. Zhang Cuckoo was so excited that she danced with joy. Now, Qin Feng and Rao Sherman could be together, and she could share Qin Feng with Rao Sherman. Zhang Cuckoo had reached the age to talk about marriage. However, she didn't like dating and had never found a man that she liked. On the other hand, Zhang Cuckoo had a good impression of Uncle Xiao Feng, so she decided to let Qin Feng take advantage of her in the future. The reunion of lovers was supposed to be a beautiful scene, but Qin Feng's face darkened after hearing Zhang Cuckoo's words. Do you think I'm an opera actor who can change my face whenever you want? I can't. Can you stop rubbing your feet against my pants? My pants are torn. Qin Feng glared at Zhang Cuckoo. Zhang Cuckoo pouted and stood on the sofa. She was a head taller than Qin Feng. She stuck the fireball talisman on Qin Feng's forehead and said, I don't care. Hurry up and change your face, or I'll chant a spell. Qin Feng almost fainted from anger. Rao Sherman quickly pulled Zhang Cuckoo away. After listening to Qin Feng's words, Rao Sherman believed that the Zheng Shuai in front of her was Qin Feng. This was because only Xiao Feng knew some things about Provincial Capital University. Not long ago, Qin Feng had announced 3 identities, and one of them was Xiao Feng, Sherman, but getting more and more beautiful. Qin Feng and Rao Sherman ignored Zhang Cuckoo. Qin Feng took a step forward and embraced Rao Sherman. Rao Sherman's delicate body trembled. She was so nervous that her heart almost jumped out of her throat. It had been a long time since she was hugged by a man. Her heart raced as if it was her first love. Rao Sherman didn't struggle. She slowly calmed down. Qin Feng's warm embrace made her forget all her worries. Both of them were a golden couple. Moreover, they had not seen each other for a long time. Qin Feng slowly moved his face closer to Rao Sherman and kissed her. Big brother Qin Feng, do you think Cuckoo is pretty? Qin Feng was 1 centimeter away from kissing her when he suddenly felt someone kick his butt. No. Qin Feng turned around and glared at Zhang Cuckoo before he kissed Rao Sherman. Nonsense. Everyone said that I'm pretty. Zhang Cuckoo kicked Qin Feng again at this critical moment. Nonsense. Good, you've grown prettier. Feng. Is it because your nose is higher, your eyes are bigger, and your chest is perkier? Qin Feng had no choice but to let go of Rao Sherman's slender waist. He realized that Zhang Cuckoo was deliberately causing trouble. Qin Feng's lensman's Qin Feng had Feng. Zhang Qin Feng Shan. Ku Feng had Feng's Feng by Feng's Ku Feng. Zhang Cuckoo pouted and kicked Qin Feng's legs. I don't want to go back to the house. I want to stay here. We still have business to attend to. It's not convenient for you to stay here. Qin Feng chased Zhang Cuckoo away. Why is this girl so blind? The sofa over there is spacious. Go ahead and do it. Don't worry. I won't say a word and I won't tell anyone. Rao Sherman was embarrassed to death by Zhang Cuckoo's words. The desire in her heart vanished. She held Zhang Cuckoo's arm and sat on the sofa. Qin Feng, let's watch TV. Rao Sherman said shyly. Okay. The Teletubbies are here. Let's watch it together. Zhang Cuckoo turned on the TV and watched the Teletubbies. Rao Sherman didn't like it, but Qin Feng didn't want to do anything flirtatious since she was sitting beside Zhang Cuckoo. Zhang Cuckoo was infuriated by Qin Feng. This girl is really a burden. I must think of a way to get rid of her. Qin Feng watched cartoons in his room for the whole afternoon. He was so depressed that he almost died. In the end, he still couldn't find a chance to be alone with Rao Sherman. Zhang Cuckoo, on the other hand, was overjoyed. She giggled from time to time. Rao Sherman's mind was clearly not on the cartoon. She stole glances at Qin Feng from time to time. Every time their eyes met, Rao Sherman shyly avoided Qin Feng's gaze like a startled little deer. Ever since Qin Feng revealed his identity to the pretty girls duo, Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo had become more intimate with Qin Feng. This made Ma Xin depressed. Previously, Rao Sherman had always rejected Qin Feng whenever he asked for more sex scenes. However, in the past few days of filming, whenever Qin Feng asked for sex scenes, Rao Sherman would lie on the bed with Qin Feng and roll around him without a second thought. Although the scenes were fake and they didn't really have sex, they hugged and touched each other. Ma Xin went back to the hotel every day with a belly full of resentment. She even wanted Mr. Gu to give her the role of the female lead in the film. Ma Xin went back to the hotel every day with a stomach full of resentment. Zhang Kuku, Rao Sherman, and Ao Shaoan fought to have sex scenes with Qin Feng every day. However, Shui was as cold as ever. She rejected Qin Feng's rude request every time and distanced herself from Qin Feng. After 10 days of shooting in Hong Kong, Qin Feng and Rao Sherman had finished half of the movie. According to the script, the other half of the movie would be shot in America. After shooting the movie in Hong Kong, Bosco invited all the crew members and the main cast to a private room. Qin Feng and the other superstars sat in a private room, and Bosco toasted them one by one. Superstar Zheng Shui, I'm so happy to meet you. I've been in China's film industry for more than 10 years, and I've made countless superstars famous. However, I've never seen a superstar who can reach your level of professionalism and superb acting skills. I'm not bragging. I've never seen a superstar like you before. Bosco was extremely agitated, as if he had vented all his pent-up emotions. Hey Gu, what about me? What about me? How's my acting and professionalism? Everyone knew that Bosco was being sarcastic. However, since he had been very obedient lately, no one dared argue with him. Zhang Kuku jumped up and down stupidly. She couldn't wait for Bosco to praise her. Bosco was stunned for a moment. Then he laughed loudly. Ha! Superstar Kuku is even better than Zheng Shui. Really? This is my first time acting. It seems like Kuku is born to be an all-rounder. Zhang Kuku was so excited that she danced with joy. The others were amused by her silly behavior. Ao Shaoan also attended the banquet. When he heard Boss Gu cursing in front of him, he was instantly displeased. Hey Gu, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you believe that I won't smash your head with a bottle of wine? Boss Gu drank some wine and wanted to vent his anger. However, just as he raised his voice, he was frightened by Ao Shaoan's roar. Hee. Miss Wan, I am sorry. I was just too happy, so... You can't do that even if you're happy. Only big brother Zheng Shui can curse. No one else can, not even me. Ever since Ao Shaoan met Qin Feng, she went to the set every day and spoiled Qin Feng. Later on, everyone in the set was afraid of offending Qin Feng. They had to use honorifics when speaking to Qin Feng and think carefully about every word they used. Bosco grumbled in his heart and muttered, "Didn't you curse when you scolded me just now?" Ao Shaoan sat back down and jumped up angrily. She slammed the table and glared at Bosco. What are you muttering about? When the fuck have I ever said such vulgar words? Bosco was so scared that she swallowed her saliva and said with a smile, "And no." Ao Shaoan sat back down with satisfaction. She immediately took Qin Feng's arm and leaned on his shoulder like a little bird. She said sweetly, "Big brother Zheng Shui, what do you want to eat? I'm going to feed you." Bosco couldn't stay any longer. He ran to the private room of the working group to show off. In that room, he was the boss. Rao Sherman and Ma Xin were also stunned by Ao Shaoan's changing behavior. They ate a few mouthfuls of food and couldn't eat anymore. Shui stood up and left halfway through her meal. She had been a loner recently, so everyone was used to it. But this time, when Shui walked to Qin Feng's side, she suddenly stopped. "Mr. Zheng Shui, are you free tonight? Come to my room later. I want to have a private chat with you." Shui left after saying that. When Ao Shaoan came back to his senses and wanted to fight with Shui, he found that Shui was gone. Zhang Kuku and Ao Shaoan started to badmouth Shui. Rao Sherman and Ma Xin were a little unhappy, but they hid it in their hearts and didn't say it out loud. Qin Feng put down his chopsticks and leaned back in his chair. He had lost his appetite and was thinking about the reason why Shui suddenly asked him to go. Qin Feng had been investigating Shui recently. He was 90% sure that Shui Air was the owner of the sovereign star system. Qin Feng was also sure that Shui Air had also discovered that he was the owner of the sovereign star system. Otherwise, she wouldn't have suddenly distanced herself from him. This woman's behavior was becoming more and more abnormal. According to the mission issued by the Hedonist system, as long as he devoured the sovereign star system, he would be rewarded with 100,000 Hedonist points, a system unsealing tool, and a rare pink equipment lucky draw ticket. These rewards were extremely tempting and would be of great help to Qin Feng. Of course, Qin Feng wanted to devour Shui Air's system, but he was also worried that she would devour his system instead. Zheng Shui, what's wrong? Rao Sherman asked worriedly when she saw Qin Feng was in a daze. I'm fine. All right, I have something to do. You guys continue eating. Qin Feng came back to his senses, stood up, and walked outside. He had decided that he would complete this mission sooner or later. Qin Feng wanted to go to Shui Air's room now. Would this woman bite? Zongheng's double monthly votes event has been activated. You can vote now. Chapter 923. This fickle-minded, stinky man should be struck to death by lightning. Ma Xinxin complained as soon as Qin Feng left. Ma Xinxin was not the only one who misunderstood Qin Feng. Rao Sherman, Zhang Kuku, and Ao Shaowan all had the same thought. Qin Feng had nothing to do but flirt with Shui Air. How dare he flirt with girls when he's so ugly? Zhang Kuku never held back when she spoke ill of Qin Feng behind his back. However, she began to act cute and innocent in front of Qin Feng. That girl is called Shui Air, right? I'll ask the people of the Hong sect to kick her out of Hong Kong tomorrow. Ao Shaowan had the air of a big sister. When she flared up, the other three girls were a little nervous. Rao Sherman was also a little annoyed, but she didn't say it out loud. These four beauties represented four different personalities. Qin Feng sneezed as he walked along the street. He thought he might have caught a cold last night. I must cover myself with a quilt tonight. You're here. Qin Feng rang the doorbell. Soon, Shui Air opened the door. Qin Feng's gaze fell on Shui Air, and he was dazed for a moment. She had taken off her black fur coat, high heels, and black leather pants. All that was left on her was a thin silk nightgown, with a shawl draped over her shoulders. Snow was pure and beautiful, and her body was hot and sexy. With these two temptations, any man who saw Snow at this moment would not be able to resist the urge to push her down. Miss Shui Air, are you going to bed? Will I disturb your rest if I look for you now? Qin Feng suppressed the evil fire in his belly. This woman was not as simple as she looked. If he fell in her trap, he wouldn't even know how he died. A complicated expression flashed across Shui Air's beautiful eyes when she saw the evil fire flashing in Qin Feng's eyes. She didn't expect Qin Feng to be so strong-willed. Even if I want to sleep, I'll accompany you no matter how late it is since the superstar Zhang Shui is here. Shui Air stretched out her slender, jade-like hand and placed it on Qin Feng's arm, pulling him into the house. Qin Feng was not in the mood to enjoy the softness and smoothness of Snow's arms. He was constantly on guard against this woman's every move. If Snow did anything threatening, Qin Feng would subdue her mercilessly. It wasn't that Qin Feng didn't know how to have tender and protective feelings for the fair sex. His momentary kindness could very well cause him to be buried in a sea of fire. Miss Shui Air, we're just friends. Don't you think it's a little inappropriate for you to be so close to me? Qin Feng looked at Shui Air with a smile. Recently, Shui Air had been keeping her distance from Qin Feng. Tonight, however, she seemed to have changed into a different person. She was as passionate as fire. As the saying goes, there must be a reason behind everything. Superstar Zhang Shui, you already said that we're friends, so you don't have to be so polite. Just treat yourself as if you're at home when you're here. I just want to greet you warmly, lest your crazy Zhang Shui fans eat me alive if I don't treat you well. Shui Air's coquettish voice carried a slight Beijing accent, causing Qin Feng to become even more wary. This woman had indeed grown up in the capital. In the capital, Qin Feng had too many enemies to count. The two of them sat on the sofa. Shui Air didn't sit next to Qin Feng. Instead, She sat across from him. However, this woman intentionally half-bent her upper body and pulled down the neckline of her red spaghetti-strap dress, revealing a dazzling expanse of snow white. Beautiful Shui Air, did you call me over in the middle of the night to show me your chest? Qin Feng stared at Shui Air's chest with a smile. Shui Air's pretty face turned red with a whoosh. Qin Feng saw a flash of coldness in the depths of her eyes, as well as an almost imperceptible murderous intent. Huh, you're so naughty, staring at my private parts. You're not doing this on purpose. Otherwise, I wouldn't have the nerve to look. Qin Feng was trying to think of a way to infuriate Shui Air. Then there's no point in just looking. Why don't you feel it? Shui Air's beautiful, starry eyes shone with a demonic light. Qin Feng put on a pig face and pretended to lose his soul. How do I feel it? You're so annoying. How else can I feel it? Just a touch or a kiss will do. Shui Air was as shy as a little girl in love for the first time. However, most people couldn't see the coldness hidden within her. Then, can I suck it? Qin Feng's mouth was wide open, and his saliva was dripping out. A deep sense of disgust flashed through Shui Air's eyes. She was on the verge of exploding. However, she quickly maintained her seductive expression and said shyly, Then, you have to be gentler. No, otherwise it'll hurt. Qin Feng was taken aback. He said excitedly, Do you want to kiss me? Sure. Gentler. Just as Shui Air finished speaking, Qin Feng's dragon claw reached out. Shui Air shrieked in pain, and tears welled up in her eyes. What are you doing? Shui Air was enraged. She slapped Qin Feng's pig trotter away. Didn't you tell me to kiss you? I'm going to touch you first. I'll kiss you after I get the feeling, Qin Feng said with a straight face. Shui Air rolled her eyes. After a long while, she said, Didn't I tell you to be gentler? Yeah, gentler. Qin Feng looked at Shui Air as if she was an idiot. Did you touch the wrong spot? Shui Air was stunned for half a minute. She finally understood what Qin Feng was talking about. Shui Air was so angry that her snow-white skin flushed red. You're a singer, and I like music as well. Let me play a song for you. The atmosphere froze for a moment. Then, Shui Air walked to the corner of the living room. She opened the curtains and placed a guzheng behind it. I didn't expect the beautiful Shui Air to know how to play the guzheng. Qin Feng looked at Shui Air with a smile, but he was already on high alert. Shui Air did not speak. She sat down in front of the guzheng with a cold expression. She plucked the strings with her index finger, and a beautiful melody reverberated in the room. Thump, thump, thump. This was a very beautiful song, but Qin Feng had never heard it before. In fact, the melody was a little strange. It didn't sound like a song of this era. It had a deep and distant feel to it. Shui Air seemed to have transformed into another person as she played the guzheng. Her aura changed subtly, and the light in her eyes became more bewitching. Her long hair fluttered even though there was no wind. It was as if a white-haired which was playing the soul lullaby. That's right, the melody was called the soul lullaby. Qin Feng sat on the sofa. When the song started playing, he felt an invisible force pulling him in. Qin Feng entered an illusory space. He was the only person inside. He couldn't hear the sounds of the outside world. His mind kept reverberating with the tune of the soul-luring song. Qin Feng realized that he had been tricked. He tried his best to bring his consciousness back to reality, but Qin Feng found that it was all in vain. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get rid of the demonic voice in his head. The soul lullaby was a demonic tune. It was a high-level offensive skill of the demon race. Other demonic tunes included the lion's roar, thousand-mile voice transmission, and the tsunami roar of the black tortoise. Recently, Qin Feng had been thinking about Shui Air's attack style. That was because Snow's body didn't emit any energy waves. She wasn't even a martial artist, so how could she defeat him? Now, Qin Feng understood that Shui Air used demonic tunes to attack him. This old lullaby was probably a high-level skill Shui Air obtained from the Sovereign Superstar system. However, it was too late by the time Qin Feng realized this. Even though Qin Feng had put up a lot of defenses, he didn't expect Cher to use this method to trick him. Qin Feng felt his consciousness fading away. He couldn't even control the basic movements of his limbs. If Shui Air tried to harm Qin Feng or devoured his hedonist sovereign system, Qin Feng wouldn't be able to fight back. Master, wake up. You can't fall asleep. Master, focus. Don't listen to that woman's demonic tunes. Shimin Chue Shui and Ouyang Feng's anxious screams suddenly resounded in Qin Feng's mind. However, he could only hear them. He couldn't answer them, and he couldn't pull himself back to reality. The flaming golden eagle and glacial snow mastiff also sensed danger. The two spiritual beasts roared angrily, trying to use their roars to wake their master up. Master, hurry, hurry up, and use demon sound roar. Qin Feng felt his eyelids getting heavier and heavier. Just as he was about to close his eyes, Little Pig's shriek reached his ears. Qin Feng's eyes lit up. He suddenly remembered the demon sound roar. Roar! Qin Feng used all his strength to roar. However, his roar was as soft as a mosquito's. Qin Feng didn't give up. He roared again and again. The information about the demon sound roar flooded Qin Feng's mind. The unfamiliar information made Qin Feng's head hurt. Roar. Qin Feng opened his mouth and let out a low roar like a dying dog. Roar, roar. This time, Qin Feng roared like a tiger coming down the mountain. Qin Feng felt his body quickly regaining its senses. His consciousness also became clearer. The scene in front of him was no longer a void under the starry sky. The sofa, the television, the floorboards, and the floor-to-ceiling windows all became clear. Roar. Qin Feng suddenly stood up and regained control of his body. Qin Feng roared with all his might. The entire room seemed to shake slightly, and the floorboards made creaking sounds. This was no longer the roar of a wild beast. It was more like a muffled thunder that struck down from the sky. The muffled thunder crashed into the living room, startling Shui Air so much that she broke a few notes of the soul lullaby she was playing. Qin Feng stood ramrod straight like a towering mountain. His black eyes were like an awakened lion, emitting a steady and cold, murderous aura. Chapter 924. Snow panicked. She was a master of the zither, calm as still water. She could play a song fluently and smoothly. However, after Qin Feng's demonic roar appeared, it completely disrupted Shui Er's state of mind. Her fingers became stiff, and her tune was cut off. The demonic tune became disorganized and lost its original power. Qin Feng glared at Snow like a starving beast glaring at a plump sheep. Qin Feng's demonic roar did not stop. Instead, it became more and more ferocious. Rumble. The roar was as loud as thunder. It was as if the divine dragon in the sky had been angered and let out a dissatisfied roar. The clear night sky was suddenly filled with dark clouds, as if a thunderstorm was coming. Clang, clang, clang. The zither in front of Shui suddenly snapped, and the strings snapped one by one. One of the strings struck Shui Er's tender hand, and a few drops of blood dripped down. Snow, you're finally exposed. Qin Feng's voice was filled with uncontrollable excitement. Snow, who had been in an advantageous position, was now in a disadvantageous position. She was so frightened that her delicate body began to tremble. Do not hurt me. I beg you. Snow looked at Qin Feng pitifully. Sure, this is a society where the weak are prey to the strong. Don't blame me. When you tried to harm me just now, you didn't hold back at all. Qin Feng's voice was filled with a devilish quality. It was like the voice of a demon king. I only wanted to hypnotize you. I didn't want to kill you. Snow tried to defend herself, but Qin Feng did not believe her. It's too late to say that now. You're the first person I've met who has a system. I'm actually quite close to you. You should know that there aren't many systems on Earth. People like us are even rarer than martial artists, pharmacists, and spiritual beast masters. Then please spare me this time. I can give you a lot of benefits. Snow was so frightened that she fell on her butt and hid in a corner. Previously, she had received a notification from the Supreme Superstar System that there were other systems nearby. This was the first time Shui had encountered another system after obtaining the system. At the time, she had been even more shocked and afraid than Qin Feng. During this time, Shui had been investigating Qin Feng. In the end, she confirmed that Qin Feng was the owner of the Hedonist sovereign system. The Hedonist sovereign system was many times more powerful than the sovereign superstar system, and so Shui began to distance herself from Qin Feng, on guard against him. Originally, the two of them did not have any grudges against each other. In fact, they were strangers who had never met before. However, due to personal reasons, Cher had no choice but to get close to Qin Feng. She knew that she could not defeat Qin Feng, so she could only use the soul-luring song to control him. Who would have thought that she would fail in the end? Qin Feng roared incessantly as he approached Shui step by step. The penetrating power of the demonic roar was extremely strong. Not only this room, but the entire Hong Kong International Hotel was filled with the tune of the demonic roar. Demon Sound Howl was a reward given to Qin Feng for completing the I'm a Superstar side quest. According to the system's introduction, Demon Sound Howl was a secret demonic cultivation technique. It was similar to the lion's roar technique. Once the Demon Sound Howl was released, low-level martial artist consciousness would be disrupted and they would lose their ability to fight. When ordinary people heard the demonic roar and their consciousness was disturbed, they would release their instincts and do what they most wanted to do in the depths of their hearts. In the banquet hall of the hotel, Rao Sherman and the other women hadn't left the banquet yet. A series of strange noises drifted into their ears. The women's expressions gradually became absent-minded, and their originally bright and clear, beautiful eyes became abnormally empty. Ha, that's right, I, A.O. Shaoan, am Hong Kong's #1 big sister. Who doesn't like it? I'm going to fight him to the death with my machete. A.O. Shaoan suddenly picked up a chair beside her and rushed to the private room where Chairman Gu and the others were seated. Rao Sherman looked as if she was sleepwalking. She slowly stood up and sang her favorite song. Because of you. Zhang Cuckoo seemed to have gone mad. She jumped onto the dining table, grabbed the chicken drumstick and steak on the plate, and started wolfing them down. Ma Xin suddenly ran in circles in the empty private room. As she ran, she gritted her teeth and said, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. A series of smashing and screams came from the private room next door. A.O. Shaoan swung the chair and violently beat Chairman Gu. After Chairman Gu heard the demonic roar, he even took off his pants. He grabbed two beautiful staff members of the director team and was about to have sex with them. In the end, he was chased around the room by A.O. Shaoan and was so scared that Chairman Gu's pants were wet. In the lobby on the first floor of the hotel, a group of beautiful receptionists were all lying on the ground. They received hundreds of guests every day, and their faces were stiff from all the smiling. After releasing their instincts, they just wanted to sleep. A group of security guards chased the lobby manager and beat him up. Usually, these security guards were scolded by the manager. Now, it was time for them to release their instincts and release their resentment. Above the 10th floor was the guest room area. Every floor's corridors were filled with undulating screams. These guests were originally here to book a room and fight. At this moment, all of them were wild and more ferocious than beasts. Shui-er's room. Shui-er was also affected by the demonic roar. Her eyes began to blur, and her reaction after releasing her instincts was beyond Qin Feng's expectation. Snow huddled in the corner of the wall, looking extremely helpless and afraid. Her beautiful face was furrowed into a frown, and her large eyes blinked frantically. I have something in my head. I am so scared. I don't want a system. I'm scared. I just want to be an ordinary person. Shui-er's body was trembling, and so was her voice. This was the first time she admitted that she had a system. However, Shui-er and Qin Feng were different. Qin Feng was excited to have a system, but Shui-er was worried and afraid. She didn't want to have a system. She was just an ordinary little girl. Qin Feng's roar gradually subsided. Looking at the trembling Shui-er in the shadows, the fragile side of Qin Feng's heart was suddenly awakened. Shui-er had no grudge against him. This was all an arrangement of fate. Two people with systems bumped into each other, and they had no choice but to kill each other. The demonic roar stopped. Time seemed to have stopped at this moment. Rauscher Man and the other women in the private room suddenly came to their senses. Everyone was startled and looked at their own actions blankly. They almost couldn't recognize themselves. A.O. Xiaowan's chair smashed into Chairman Gu's head. Chairman Gu rolled on the floor in pain. The memory of what happened just now had disappeared. Chairman Gu had just woken up when A.O. Xiaowan threw a chair at him. He wanted nothing more than to tear A.O. Xiaowan into pieces. What's wrong with this woman? The people in the private room were stunned. Those who didn't close the door quickly closed it. A dozen couples in the corridor hastily pulled up their pants and ran to their rooms. A few unfamiliar couples had already started fighting. Some of the women even called the police. Qin Feng didn't know that his demonic roar had caused such a series of crazy effects. He was a little absent-minded. Looking at the pitiful Shui heir, Qin Feng couldn't bear to kill her. Little pig, do I have to kill Shui heir to devour her superstar system? No, master. Killing the owner of the system is the most inferior way to devour the system, but it's also the simplest and most violent way. If Shui heir is killed and master wants to devour the ultimate superstar system, you'll need the system unsealing tool to unseal it and make the superstar system acknowledge master as its host. Apart from that, you can also make Shui heir voluntarily submit to master and let master devour her system. Little Pig explained a lot of things. Qin Feng sorted them out. To put it simply, there were two ways to devour the system. One was to kill it by force, and the other was to make it submit to him. Bang! A loud sound rang out, startling Qin Feng. When he looked at the corner of the room, Shui heir had already disappeared. The floor-to-ceiling window beside him was smashed. They were on the 13th floor, and Shui heir had jumped down from the 13th floor. Qin Feng hurriedly rushed to the window. Although it was the 13th floor and it was nighttime, Qin Feng could see clearly with his night vision goggles. A pile of glass shards fell to the ground. There was no blood, and Shui heir was nowhere to be seen. This woman actually escaped. Little Pig, locate Shui heir for me. Qin Feng's eyes were ablaze with fire. He regretted not killing Shui heir earlier. Master, it'll cost you 200,000 hedonist points. Little Pig said. Qin Feng only had 13,200 hedonist points. He was shocked by the cost of locating Shui heir. Why is it so expensive? Master, as the owner of the Sovereign Star System, Shui heir must have spent a lot of hedonist points to conceal herself. Therefore, if you want to locate her, you'll need to spend a lot of hedonist points to break the concealment formation on her body. Little Pig explained. Qin Feng looked at the boundless night sky and punched the frame of the floor-to-ceiling window. The huge frame of the floor-to-ceiling window collapsed with a loud bang, creating a huge pit on the ground. Master, you're too soft-hearted. Ouyang Feng sighed. Shimin Chue Shui shook his head and said nothing. These two heroes were existences who killed without batting an eyelid. They felt that their master was too kind. You can't say that. The main point is that Shui heir is a beauty. Master, you'd cut him into pieces. Little Pig's words hit the nail on the head. Shimin Chue Shui and Ouyang Feng nodded in realization. The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. He was rendered speechless by Little Pig's words. Not long after, dozens of police cars were parked in front of the International Hotel. The alternating red and blue lights dazzled everyone's eyes. Rauscher Man and the girls ran to Shui heir's room and knocked on the door. Are you all right, Zheng Shui? I think something strange happened just now. After Qin Feng's demonic roar disappeared, everyone regained their senses. The first thing the four girls did was to look for Qin Feng. Zhang Kuku ran around the room like a giant mouse the moment she entered the room. Then, she ran to the living room and yelled, Shit, shit. Zheng Shui has raped and killed Shui heir. He even dismembered her body and flushed it down the toilet. The girls rolled their eyes. They were completely speechless. This woman must have watched too many horror movies. Qin Feng knocked Zhang Kuku's head and said sternly, Shui suddenly left due to an urgent matter. I don't think she'll be back. Since Qin Feng had discovered Shui heir's identity as the system, he believed that Shui heir would hide from him in the future. Naturally, she would not come back. Rao Sherman and the girls nodded doubtfully. Zhang Cuckoo ran to the empty floor-to-ceiling window and looked at the empty floor beneath her feet. She was so frightened that she started to scream. Ah, shit! Shit! Shui refused to submit to Zheng Shui, so Zheng Shui pushed Shui down the stairs. Chapter 925. Shui really left. She never showed up again. At that time, Zhang Cuckoo suspected that Qin Feng was up to no good, so Shui jumped down from the 13th floor. However, Rao Sherman and the other two girls didn't believe her. Qin Feng had so many beauties around him that he wouldn't do something so stupid, right? However, Shui never returned. It was as if she had suddenly disappeared. Rao Sherman and the other two girls started to believe her. If Qin Feng didn't act like a beast that night, would Shui be so scared that she wouldn't show up again? Shui had even canceled her contract with Hedonist Sovereign. Many things that happened that night were reported on the Hong Kong TV news, and all of them were related to Qin Feng. Due to the weather change caused by the demonic roar, the weather station issued an emergency typhoon warning. However, there wasn't even a drizzle that night, causing the people of Hong Kong to complain about the weather station for the whole night. Some reporters specifically interviewed the International Hotel. According to them, at 8:39 that night, a supernatural incident happened in the International Hotel. All the guests and staff in the building forgot what happened in the next 10 minutes. According to the dozens of interviewees, everyone seemed to be possessed by ghosts during the last 10 minutes. They couldn't remember what they did. However, when they woke up, they were shocked by what they did. When the reporter continued to ask everyone what they had done at the time, everyone unanimously remained silent. Other than the weather and supernatural news, there was also the news about the Hong Kong police. According to the surveillance video, at 8:52, someone jumped down from the 13th floor, room 1303. However, the woman suddenly disappeared. She didn't fall to her death, but she was nowhere to be found. The few pieces of news linked together made the people of Hong Kong fearful and in awe. The International Hotel suddenly became a forbidden place in the hearts of the people of Hong Kong. Apart from Qin Feng and the others who stayed there, no other guests dared to stay there. The filming of Hedonist Sovereign in Hong Kong was completed. The group of people rushed to America early in the morning. When they left, Qin Feng felt a little guilty. He felt that he had wronged the International Hotel. At the airport of America, Qin Feng and the others got off the plane. It was also the first time the beauties had come to America. They looked left and right and chattered like happy little birds. The main production team of Hong Kong's House of Millions Media came along. The pretty girls group came. Ma Xin, as Qin Feng's top manager, was naturally there. A.O. Shaowan insisted on coming along, and no one dared to stop her. Mr. Gu did not come. He had suffered enough in Hong Kong. He was afraid that if he came to the United States, he would be angered to death by Zhang Cuckoo and A.O. Shaowan. Welcome to America. Two golden-haired men in suits and leather shoes walked over to Qin Feng and the others with 4 female assistants, who had a strong local accent. Hello. We're actors from House of Millions Media from Hong Kong. We're going to shoot a movie in America for half a month. Please take care of us in the future. Rao Sherman took the initiative to talk to them. Her English was very fluent. Hello, beauty. I received a call from Mr. Gu. We're here to receive you. One of the men with gold-rimmed glasses spoke in Chinese. Although his Chinese was a little clumsy, everyone could understand him. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief when they saw that the man could speak Chinese. Otherwise, it would be tiring to communicate in English and have to translate. Hello, my name is Rao Sherman. This is my group member, Zhang Cuckoo. That's the superstar Zheng Shui, her manager, Ma Xin, and the superstar A.O. Shaowan. Rao Sherman took the initiative to introduce everyone. However, Rao Sherman paused when she introduced A.O. Shaowan. She did not know how to introduce A.O. Shaowan. The man with the gold-rimmed glasses smiled and said, Hello, everyone. Welcome to America. I'm Henry, the production director of Can Film Group, and this is the most capable director in our company, Tom. Tom, who stood beside Henry, grinned and revealed his yellow teeth. It seemed like he smoked a lot. Please get in the car. We'll show you around the company. After the introductions were over, Qin Feng and the women boarded a commercial vehicle while the staff of Hong Kong's media of millions boarded another van. Henry and Tom were at the back of the group. Both of them were elegant and gentlemanly, but now they had a wretched smile on their faces as they stared at the buttocks of Rao Sherman and the other beauties. Director Tom, these Chinese chicks are very hot. Henry, who wore the gold-rimmed glasses, rubbed his chin and smirked. They're not only hot, they're the best. I've been a director for more than 10 years, and I've worked with hundreds of Chinese female stars. I can count the number of people who can compare to these 4 chicks with one hand. Tom's eyes were glowing as he spoke. Hee, then we're in luck this time. I like the chick in the white chong sam. Her name is Sherman, I think. And her teammate. She has a childish face and huge breasts. I'm excited just by looking at them. Henry had already chosen his targets. Tom grinned and said, all right, you can have those 2. I'm interested in the other 2. Look at that chick named Xin. Her butt is so big. I'm sure the sound she makes when she's having sex is very rhythmic. That chick one has an air of arrogance about her. Haha, we'll have a lot of fun tonight. The 2 of them looked at each other and laughed. Their eyes were filled with wickedness. Tom and Henry only cared about the 4 beauties. They did not mention Qin Feng at all because they thought nothing of him. After the women boarded the BMW, Henry and Tom boarded the other BMW. The motorcade slowly drove toward America's Film and Television Group. Wow, Sherman, look, that's Jason Statham. He's filming on the street. The beauties in Qin Feng's car screamed incessantly. Through the car window, Zhang Kuku saw a movie being filmed on the street. The main character was her favorite hunk, Statham. She was so excited that she climbed onto Qin Feng's lap and wiggled her buttocks excitedly. Those European-style buildings are so beautiful. I like them. Ma Xin clapped her hands happily as she watched the flying castles. Ao Shaowan preferred the people who were rapping and dancing on the street. Rao Sherman was relatively quiet. She stared blankly at the unfamiliar city. Qin Feng's eardrums were about to burst because of Zhang Kuku's screams. He picked her up and threw her to the side. Zhang Kuku pouted and yelled unhappily, Hey, why did you throw me away? I can't even see my Statham. You broke my thigh. Qin Feng was also very displeased. Rao Sherman and the other 2 girls stopped looking out of the car window. 6 pairs of eyes were fixed on Qin Feng's crotch. Is my thigh going to break? We'll be okay there. This is related to everyone's sexual happiness in the future. Ahem. Don't worry. The important part is fine. Qin Feng saw through the women's thoughts and hastily clarified himself. Pervert. Shameless. The 3 women rolled their eyes at Qin Feng. They would never admit their true thoughts, even if they were beaten to death. Qin Feng didn't feel bored at all since he was accompanied by beautiful women in the car. After a while, the car stopped in front of a magnificent palace. The women got out of the car. Zhang Kuku and Ao Shaowan were running around. Their screams could be heard everywhere. Rao Sherman and Ma Xin were taking pictures of each other. Wow. Is this the office of Film Group? It's as gorgeous as the White House. Zhang Kuku ran to Qin Feng's side and jumped around with her arms around him. She even insisted on riding on Qin Feng's neck to take pictures. However, Qin Feng rejected her flatly. The other 2 cars arrived one after another. The staff of Hong Kong's media of millions, Henry and Tom, got out of the car. Ladies, welcome to the office of Film Group. Let's go in and have a look. The director of production, Henry, walked to the women. He spoke elegantly and behaved like a gentleman. It was impossible to tell that he and Tom were playing dirty tricks behind their backs. The group followed Henry and Tom into the palace-like office building. The interior was decorated in European and American style. The intricate plaster lines and the splendid wall decorations were a few grades higher than the building of Hong Kong's media of millions. Dear friend from afar, allow me to introduce Film Group to you. Henry and Tom led the way. The 4 female assistants who were supposed to receive them at the airport had already gone to work. Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo were Chinese superstars. They had been in China's entertainment industry for a long time and had been to a few famous film and television companies in China. However, the development of China's film and television industry was not as developed as America's. It was evident from the culture of Can Film Group. Can Film Group was huge. Even after walking around for a whole morning, they still couldn't see the whole building. Qin Feng and the group even met a few Hollywood superstars in the company. Some of them were male stars that Zhang Cuckoo liked very much. Zhang Cuckoo asked them to take pictures with her and even asked them to pose with her in some weird and idiotic poses. She almost drove the Hollywood superstars crazy. Ladies, it's getting late. Our company has booked a hotel for you. I'll bring you to the hotel now. I'll invite all of you to have dinner tonight. I hope all 4 of you can come. After they were done with the company, Henry and Tom brought everyone to the hotel. The hotel was only 1 kilometer away from Can Film Group. It only took a few minutes to get there. Chapter 926. Sherman, this hotel is so nice. It's specially designed to serve us. Aren't you afraid of being intercepted by fans and paparazzi? Zhang Cuckoo danced with joy after learning about the nature of the celebrity hotel. Do you think this is China? Who knows you? Don't worry. There won't be any paparazzi or fans chasing after you. Rao Sherman thought Zhang Cuckoo was too active and it was necessary to extinguish her fire from time to time. Sherman, you're talking nonsense. Cuckoo is famous all over the world. I have many fans even in America. Zhang Cuckoo was instantly displeased. Her cute and coquettish look made Henry unable to walk. Sherman, Beauty Cuckoo, do you need me to carry your luggage to your room? Henry and Tom had already arranged their tasks. Henry would target the pretty girl group, while Tom would target Ma Xin and Ao Shaowan. Director Henry, don't bother. Our luggage isn't heavy. We can carry it ourselves. Henry was rejected, so he couldn't force the 2 girls to carry their luggage. Originally, Tom wanted to use Henry's method to woo Ma Xin and Ao Shaowan, but it seemed like it wouldn't work. Hee, Tom, and I won't send you guys off. Go to your room, and we'll come back in the evening. The party will be held in this hotel. Henry and Tom bade farewell to everyone and left the hotel. From the beginning to the end, they took care of the 4 beauties, but didn't say a word to Qin Feng. The staff of Hong Kong's media of millions lived in ordinary rooms, while Qin Feng and the others lived in the luxurious suite on the top floor. Qin Feng had revealed his identity to the pretty girl group and Ao Shaowan in Hong Kong, so he didn't have any scruples when he came to America this time. Therefore, he stayed in the same suite with Ma Xin and Ao Shaowan. Qin Feng and the pretty girl group's suite faced each other. They greeted each other and returned to their rooms. There are only 2 rooms in this suite. Ma Xin discovered the problem as soon as she entered the room. How could they live in 2 rooms? When Ao Shaowan learned there were only 2 rooms, he rushed up and held Qin Feng's arm. He glared at Ma Xin and said, "That's easy. I'll share a room with Qin Feng, and you'll have another room. I'll take care of you." Ma Xin had always been at odds with Ao Shaowan. She also rushed up and held Qin Feng's other arm. "Why are you sleeping with Qin Feng? I'll even take care of you. You can sleep on a big bed by yourself." Ao Shaowan was so angry that his nose became crooked. You dare to disobey me? Do you know who I am? In Hong Kong, no one dares to offend me. Ao Shaowan. Ao Shaowan's big sister's temper flared up. That arrogant momentum was really not something that an ordinary person could fake. But Ma Xin was not afraid of Ao Shaowan, because she was completely confident that she could kick this damn girl away. Humph! What's wrong with big sister? Others might be afraid of you, but I'm not. Besides, this is America, not Hong Kong. Ao Shaowan was stunned. She had just arrived in the United States and hadn't adapted yet. Yes, this was not Hong Kong. No, so what if it's not Hong Kong? If you dare to disobey me, as long as you return to the country, I can kill you in minutes. Come on, don't talk about returning to the country. If you make me unhappy, I can trample you to death now. The 2 women quarreled, one fiercer than the other, which stunned Qin Feng. Ahem, why do you have to quarrel over these trivial things? Isn't it simple to have 2 rooms? I'll sleep in one room, and you two sleep in the other. Qin Feng was afraid that the 2 women would really fight if they quarreled again, so he quickly came out to mediate. The 2 women tilted their heads and snorted coldly at the same time. Umph, I don't want to sleep with that woman. Qin Feng thought about it and felt that it was not good to let the 2 women sleep together. Either Ao Shaoan killed Ma Xin in the middle of the night while she was asleep, or Ma Xin kicked Ao Shaoan to death in anger. Then you two sleep in the same room with me, okay? Qin Feng said seriously. That's more like it. After the 2 women agreed, their expressions suddenly changed. They felt that something was wrong. Go to hell, you pervert. Because of the problem of sleeping, Ao Shaoan and Ma Xin quarreled for the whole afternoon. Qin Feng's head was swollen because of the 2 women. Fortunately, Rao Sherman and Zhang Cuckoo came to Qin Feng's room to play. Zhang Cuckoo took the initiative to invite Ao Shaoan to sleep in her room. Then, Rao Sherman slept with Big Sis Ling, while Qin Feng and Ma Xin slept in their own room. Finally, the problem of sleeping was solved. Qin Feng heaved a long sigh of relief. He had known Zhang Cuckoo for a long time, but this was the first time this girl helped him with something serious. The 4 women surrounded Qin Feng's room and played until night fell. Due to the time difference between America and China, it was nighttime in America while it was daytime in China. The 4 women were a little sleepy at this time. However, they hadn't eaten anything since they got off the plane. They were hungry and couldn't sleep. Suddenly, the doorbell of Qin Feng's room rang. He opened the door and saw Harry and Tom. They stood at the door and watched Qin Feng lying on the sofa like a paralyzed Guyu. Rao Sherman peeled grapes and fed him. Zhang Cuckoo and Ao Shaoan each pinched one of Qin Feng's legs. The scene stunned Harry and Tom. Are all Chinese beauties like this? Or are all Chinese men as ugly as Zheng Shuai? Director Harry, Director Tom, you're here. Ma Xin beckoned them into the room. Tom's target was Ma Xin and Ao Shaoan. He especially liked Ma Xin's big buttocks. He glanced at Ma Xin's buttocks and said with a smile, "Ha ha, sorry to keep you ladies waiting. We're here to take you to the party tonight." The 4 women were starving. When they saw it was time to eat, they hastily got up and went out. Under Harry and Tom's lead, they arrived at the banquet hall on the 3rd floor. They had booked the entire place. 2 rows of dining cars lined the hall, were filled with all kinds of delicious food and wine. Most of the food was Western cuisine, and the drinks were mainly red wine, champagne, and whiskey. Superstar Zheng Shuai, you're here. The staff of Hong Kong's House of Millions Media had arrived. When they saw Zheng Shuai, Rao Sherman, and the girls, they came up to greet them. In fact, during the 10 days of filming in Hong Kong, these staff had built a good relationship with Qin Feng and the girls. Especially after Qin Feng and the girls turned this youth idol drama into a brainless comedy. They laughed until they cried during the filming every day. That kind of cheerful feeling made them friends easily. Qin Feng and the beauties didn't put on airs like celebrities. They greeted everyone like they were good friends. After greeting each other, the atmosphere of the party started to liven up. There was elegant music playing in the banquet hall, and a few couples were dancing the waltz. Superstar Sherman, although I'm in America, the fame of you and Kiki has traveled across the ocean and reached my ears. I admire the beauty of you Asians very much. You're gentle, elegant, and very charming. Harry tried to get close to Rao Sherman. The reason he learned Chinese was to chase after Chinese girls. Seeing that Harry and his men had made their move, Tom also ran to Ma Xin and Ao Shaoan. Miss Ao, you're the woman with the most character I've ever seen. Your carefree nature deeply attracts me. May I have a dance with you, Miss Ao? Tom and Henry had dressed up meticulously tonight. Each of them was wearing an expensive custom-made suit, elegant leather shoes, and had even sprayed perfume on their bodies. Coupled with their handsome appearance and gentlemanly demeanor, the few Chinese female celebrities who had come earlier had basically fallen for them. However, Tom found the wrong person. He actually wanted to chase after Ao Shaoan. Fuck, what are you babbling about? I don't understand. Although Tom could speak Chinese, his level was not good. A.O. Shaoan was also impatient, so he didn't have the patience to listen to Tom carefully. He directly waved his hand as if he was shooing away a fly. What? Miss A.O., what did you say? A.O. Shaoan spoke quickly. Tom was dumbfounded. Although Tom didn't understand what A.O. Shaoan was saying, from her tone and attitude, it seemed to be cursing. How could this woman curse for no reason? Fuck. Are you deaf? I told you not to talk to me. Can you not talk to me? A.O. Shaoan's beautiful eyes widened, and Tom was so scared that he took 2 steps back. Tom pricked up his ears and almost became a cat, but he still didn't understand what A.O. Shaoan was saying. You talk and I talk. Tom's mind was full of the word talk, but he didn't know what to say. Hee hee. Miss Xin, can I invite you to dance? Seeing that A.O. Shaoan's communication was blocked, Tom reacted very quickly. He turned around and began a chat with Ma Xin. Because Tom and Harry had pretended to be polite in front of the 4 beauties, and the 4 women came to shoot this time to ask the film group of the United States for help, Ma Xin didn't want to make their relationship awkward. Director Tom, I'm really sorry, but I don't know how to dance. Ma Xin smiled and politely refused Tom. Seeing that Ma Xin's temper and patience were much better, Tom was very happy. That's not a problem. I can teach you. Tom felt that Ma Xin had a chance, so he stretched out his hand to hug Ma Xin's slender waist. Ma Xin was startled. She thought that these 4 men were really more open. How could they fight with just a few words? They were just like Qin fun. Ma Xin was a little unhappy, but for the sake of her face, she could only smile and take a step back. Hee hee. Director Tom, I really don't know how to dance. You better find someone else. Ma Xin covered her mouth and giggled. This was just an apologetic way of refusing, but Tom didn't think so. He was a little elated. He thought that Ma Xin was shy, and this woman obviously liked him. Miss Xin, don't be shy. I'll teach you how to dance the waltz. It's very easy. Tom took another big step forward and reached out to hug Ma Xin again. Ma Xin was really angry this time and pushed Tom casually. However, Ma Xin was not the Ma Xin of the past. She had learned to use inner chi, but she was not proficient in controlling it. Ouch! Chapter 927. Ouch! That was a terrible cry, enough to make one's heart ache to hear it. Everyone stopped talking, and the couples who were dancing also stopped. Everyone's eyes were focused on Tom. Isn't he the director of Film Group? Why is he lying on the ground? Oh, Americans love hip-hop. Director Tom is going to do a hip-hop dance. Clap, clap, clap. There was a round of enthusiastic applause. Everyone was looking forward to Tom making a big windmill. That would be so cool. However, after a while, Tom didn't dance at all. He seemed to be in pain and depressed. Director Tom, are you okay? Henry was flirting with Rauscherman. When he saw Tom lying on the ground, he stopped flirting and hurried over to help Tom up. Tom gritted his teeth in pain. He felt as though his bones were about to fall apart. Tom regretted his decision. He felt that he had chosen the wrong target. One was arrogant like a big sister, while the other was born with godly strength. All these Chinese celebrities seem to be freaks. Director Tom, are you okay? The floor is too slippery. Otherwise, you wouldn't have fallen. Ma Xin was taken aback. She didn't expect that she would push Tom so hard that he would fall to the ground. However, Ma Xin would never admit that she was the one who overthrew Tom. She was afraid the Film Group would cancel the collaboration before the shooting of the American film started. Tom suffered a loss. His excuse of slipping and falling was a good one. Otherwise, he would be embarrassed enough if everyone knew he was overthrown by a woman. Haha, I am fine. Thank you for your concern, Miss Xin. The floor is really slippery. Director Henry, can you help me to a corner to rest? I'll be fine after some rest. Tom was in so much pain that he couldn't walk. He couldn't flirt with girls anymore. All he wanted now was to go to a corner to rest. After helping Tom to a quiet corner, Henry hurried back. He still wanted to flirt with girls. Miss Sherman, something happened to my friend just now. I'm so sorry. May I have a dance with you? Henry kept pestering Rauscherman. At first, Rauscherman politely rejected him. But now, she didn't waste time and ran to Qin phone. Zheng Shuai, Would you like to dance with me? Sure. Qin Feng had long since discovered that Harry and Tom were up to no good. At this moment, he hugged Rao Sherman's slender waist and glared at Harry complacently. Harry almost vomited in disgust when he saw Rao Sherman taking the initiative to dance with Qin Feng. There was definitely something wrong with this Chinese beauty's taste. Hee hee. Miss Kiki, how are you adjusting to your new life in America? Just let me know if you need anything. After Rao Sherman left, Henry started to pester Zhang Cuckoo. Zhang Cuckoo stood in front of the row of dining cars with a watermelon in each hand. She nibbled on the watermelon and looked at Henry like an innocent bystander. Are you sure that you can just ask if you need anything? Of course. It's my honor to be of service to Beauty Coco. Henry's words and actions were filled with gentlemanly air. Okay. Hurry up and get someone to move these 2 rows of dining carts to my room. Don't let anyone else eat. Zhang Cuckoo clapped her hands excitedly, causing the watermelon in her hand to drop onto Henry's leather shoes. In order to have a successful day tonight, Henry purposely put on his most expensive pair of branded leather shoes. He was reluctant to wear this pair of shoes during normal times, so he put them on after polishing them until they were shiny. However, the watermelon water and a few watermelon seeds stuck to them. Henry was so angry that his nose became crooked. When Henry recalled Zhang Cuckoo's idiotic request, he rolled his eyes and ignored Zhang Cuckoo. He bent down to wipe his shoes with a handkerchief, but the watermelon water was sticky. The more he wiped, the dirtier the shoes became. Henry was so angry that his lungs almost exploded. Ah, you pervert! You peeped under Keek's skirt. Henry had only been down for a short while when someone stepped on his head. The stomp caused him to lose his balance, causing him to fall on the watermelon skin. He slid for a few meters before he came to a stop. There were many people dancing around him, so no one noticed Henry. Everyone was startled when they felt something soft when they stepped on him. Ah, Director Henry, what are you doing? A scream came from the crowd, and they finally saw Henry lying on the ground. There were a lot of footprints on Henry's handsome black suit. These footprints were understandable. After all, those who had stepped on Henry's body knew it. However, there was a small footprint on Henry's head, which was puzzling. How much hatred did this person have for Henry? Director Henry, are you all right? Several representatives from film and television came to attend the party. They quickly gathered around Henry. Qin Feng and the representatives from Hong Kong's House of Millions Media also gathered around Henry. Everyone started to wonder, what's wrong with Americans? Why do they like to lie on the ground? You woman, why did you step on my head? Although Henry wanted to flirt with Zhang Cuckoo, being stepped on by Zhang Cuckoo infuriated him. He roared at Zhang Cuckoo after being helped up by his American colleagues. Zhang Cuckoo realized that she had made a mistake. She ran to Qin Feng, hugged his arm, and cried, sob. Big brother Zheng Shuai, that 4-eyed guy is a pervert. He squatted down and peeped under Keek's skirt. Whoosh! As soon as Zhang Cuckoo's words fell, the crowd burst into exclamations. Everyone present here was a man of high social status. It was fine for him to flirt with a girl and peep at her, but how could he do such a despicable thing in front of everyone? Qin Feng was enraged. Without saying a word, he slapped Henry's face. The loud and clear slap silenced the noisy banquet hall. The film and television employees' jaws dropped to the ground. They had worked with many Chinese celebrities in the past, and the other Chinese celebrities in the United States had to humble themselves in order to curry favor with them. However, this group of Chinese celebrities was too arrogant and dared to slap Henry without any regard for the consequences. Fuck! How dare you slap me? You're courting death. Henry was enraged by the slap. He roared at Qin Feng fiercely. Qin Feng had a calm expression on his face as he coldly said, "So what if I hit you? How dare you peep under my friend's skirt? Not only did I slap you, but I'll also call the police to arrest you. Don't think that we're afraid of you just because we're in the United States. We won't tolerate such despicable things." Qin Feng's words were filled with righteous indignation. The power of his emotions was extremely strong, and it instantly infuriated the staff of Hong Kong's media of millions. Brother Zheng Shuai, I'm going to post a Weibo post to denounce Henry and ask the Chinese netizens to support us. I'm acquainted with the Chinese embassy in the United States. I'm asking them for help. Do you think the Chinese are pushovers? R1. 3 billion compatriots are not for sex. I want to speak to the CEO of Film and Television. Is this the quality of your employees? The team members who came with Qin Feng and the others all took out their phones and glared at Henry and the others like tigers watching their prey. The Film and Television employees felt a little guilty. After all, it was Director Henry's fault. Why did you peep under someone's skirt at a party? You should have done it in private when no one was around. Henry felt guilty, or rather, he was dumbfounded. Since when did I peep under that woman's skirt? I'm clearly cleaning my shoes, okay? However, Henry knew it was useless to say anything now. There was a Chinese proverb that said, "You can't wash yourself clean even if you fall into the Yellow River." Hey, don't accuse me wrongly. How can I, Henry, peep under a woman's skirt? I was cleaning her shoes just now. Don't spout nonsense. Henry knew it was useless to explain himself, but he had no other choice but to defend himself. Cleaning shoes? That means you've admitted to peeping under a woman's skirt, said Qin Feng. The Chinese people nodded their heads. It seemed like they had used the excuse of cleaning shoes to peep under a woman's skirt. Henry rolled his eyes and almost fainted from anger. I didn't peep. You don't call me. Let's forget about it. Before, Harry had looked as if he wouldn't stop until he killed Qin Feng. Now, he immediately shriveled up. Zhang Cuckoo, who was standing behind Qin Feng, wanted to laugh but couldn't. Her neck was red from holding back her laughter. Qin Feng said with a straight face, "You think you can forget about it? You've peeped under my colleague's skirt. You should apologize to her." Henry was so angry that his vision darkened. He was the victim, so why did he have to apologize to her? I said let's forget about it. Don't push your luck. Henry glared at Qin Feng angrily, as if he was ready to shed all pretense of cordiality. Before Qin Feng could speak, the people from Hong Kong's House of Millions media were unhappy. Why are you so fierce? It seems like we have to call the police. My acquaintance from the Huaxiao Embassy in the U.S. is my cousin. Henry was depressed, but he still took the initiative to admit his mistake. Miss Cuckoo, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to peep under your skirt. I was cleaning my shoes and accidentally saw it. I hope you can forgive me. I won't accept it. As soon as Harry apologized, Zhang Cuckoo pouted her lips and rejected him. Henry felt dizzy and he could faint at any time. The farce finally came to an end. The Film and Television employees carried Henry to Tom's side to rest. Henry and Tom looked at each other, and an indescribable sadness flashed across their eyes. Henry and Tom had stopped their bickering, but the party was finally heating up. Zhang Cuckoo, who was holding back her laughter, laughed so hard that her intestines almost fell out. Qin Feng became the most sought-after man of the night. Rao Sherman and the other three beauties fought to dance with Qin Feng. In the end, the four of them agreed that each of them would dance with Qin Feng for 15 minutes before the next person would dance with them. It was a pretty good agreement, but Qin Feng wanted to ask them if they had thought about his feelings. Did they really think that he was not tired just because he was good in bed? Chapter 928. It was said that loneliness was a one-man party. However, Henry and Tom did not agree with this saying. Loneliness was a two-man party. Henry and Tom could not bear the sight of the paired men and women in the banqueting hall dancing to the slow, pleasant music. Based on what? How could that ugly Chinese man, Zheng Shuai, flirt with four girls all by himself? Do you think you're a big shot? Let's have a match if you have the guts. Tom and Henry were extremely depressed. They were here to flirt with girls, not to be the third wheel. Director Henry, the man named Zheng Shuai, is very annoying. Should we teach him a lesson? Tom couldn't stand it anymore. He gritted his teeth and said to Henry. Henry hated Qin Feng even more than Tom. He was slapped by Qin Feng, and half of his face was still swollen. Oomph. Of course, we can't let that arrogant, ugly, and lowly bastard get away with it. But let's not do anything tonight. After all, I just had a small conflict with him. If he gets beaten up, I'll be the one to blame. We have more important things to do tonight. Henry had regained his senses. He knew what was important and what wasn't. Tom's eyes glowed green when he said that. However, the green light soon disappeared. Sigh. Those 4 Chinese girls are circling around Zhang Shuai. They don't seem to be interested in us. This matter made Tom and Henry extremely depressed. What exactly did the 4 women like about Zhang Shuai? Since normal methods won't work, let's play some tricks. Henry looked at Tom with a smile. Tom immediately smiled knowingly. Director Henry, do you have medicine with you? It wasn't the first time Tom and Henry had flirted with superstars. They knew very well what kind of people they were. Henry looked around to make sure no one was paying attention to him. Then he took out a bottle of medicine surreptitiously and said, "This is a new product sent by a Thai friend 2 days ago. It's called Super Black Widow. It said that if a sow eats one, it will squeal for the whole night." Henry didn't need to explain further. Tom understood everything. What would happen if he gave one to each of the 4 beauties? Huh, that's good. Tonight, I'm going to ravage that hot girl. Let's see if he still dares to talk to me so fast in the future. Tom glanced at A.O. Shaowan in the crowd, and his eyes flashed with a hint of a smirk. Henry glared at Zhang Cuckoo and said through gritted teeth, "How dare you step on my head? I'll press your head and play with it for the whole night." With the Super Black Widow in hand, Tom and Henry regained their confidence. The 2 of them continued to discuss tonight's strategy. When they were almost done, they pushed a dining cart with 7 wine glasses and walked towards Chinfeng. "Huh, friends who have come from afar. There has been a small misunderstanding earlier. Please forgive us. Tom and I have specially come to propose a toast to you, hoping to resolve the conflict." Harry pushed the cart to everyone's side. Chinfeng and Ma Xinshin had just stopped dancing. Seeing Director Henry and Director Tom propose a toast in person, the girls couldn't refuse. After all, they still needed the cooperation of Film Group for the next few days. Hee. Director Henry, you're being too serious. Although your peeping is worse than a beast, you're brave enough to admit your mistake and correct it. That's a very good quality. Henry rolled his eyes at Chinfeng's words. How am I worse than a beast? I was wrong by Zhang Cuckoo. Although he was displeased, this was not the time to be calculative. He said in a gentlemanly manner, "Mr. Zhang Shuai is right. I'll pay attention to my manners and won't do such bad things again. Since that's the case, let's have a toast." Chinfeng's suspicions were aroused as Henry kept talking about drinking. Before everyone could reach for the wine glasses on the dining cart, Chinfeng suddenly screamed, "Ah, Cuckoo, your underwear fell off." Henry and Tom stopped holding the wine glasses and looked at Zhang Cuckoo's ankle impatiently. Ma Xinshin and the girls were also frightened. How could Zhang Cuckoo's underwear fall off? Did she buy too much? No one saw Zhang Cuckoo's underwear falling to her ankles, but they saw her shocking action. Zhang Cuckoo bent down, pulled up the bottom of her cheongsam, and peeked in her thighs. She took a second look to make sure she was right before she stood up angrily. "Stupid Zhang Shuai, you're talking nonsense. My underwear didn't fall at all." Chinfeng was used to Zhang Cuckoo's chinibi behavior, so he did not find it strange at all. While everyone was focused on Zhang Cuckoo's ankle, Chinfeng had already exchanged the 2 wine glasses on the dining cart with the 2 glasses in front of Henry and Tom. Everyone came back to their senses. The women stared at Chinfeng strangely. They didn't know why he was making such a low-level joke in front of everyone. Tom and Henry hurriedly averted their gazes, afraid that the women would discover them peeping at Chinfeng. Then they glanced at Chinfeng contemptuously and muttered, "Childish." "Hee. I'm sorry, Kiki, I was mistaken." Chinfeng patted Zhang Cuckoo's head and comforted her. Then he looked at everyone and said, "Since Director Henry and Director Tom are here to propose a toast, let's have a toast." Chinfeng raised his wine glass, and the women followed suit. They were here because of Chinfeng's order. Zhang Cuckoo pouted and looked unhappy. It was hard to tell if she was angry at Chinfeng or Harry. If she was angry at Henry, he would have exploded in anger. After all, he was the victim here. Henry and Tom were extremely excited when they saw the 4 women raising their wine glasses. The 2 of them drugged Chinfeng and the 4 women's wine glasses. As for drugging Chinfeng as well, they thought that after the drug took effect, Qin Feng would find a woman to cure himself. That way, Qin Feng wouldn't be a hindrance to the two of them. Everyone raised their wine glasses and emptied their wine glasses. Henry and Tom put down their glasses. Seeing that the glasses of the four beauties were already empty, they were so excited that they almost cried out. According to the manual of Super Black Widow, the effect of this drug was extremely strong, and the effect of the drug was also very fast. It was estimated that the four beauties would be affected in 15 minutes. Since everyone has drunk this glass of wine, let's not talk about what happened before. We're still good friends. Henry chuckled and said some polite words to avoid exposing the identity of the drugged women. After that, Henry and Tom returned to the corner and sat down. Both of them sat in the corner and stared at the women they liked. Occasionally, they would communicate with each other. Director Tom, do you have any more videos on your phone? Send me some of them. I'll play them tonight to liven things up. Henry smiled vulgarly. Tom's smile became even more vulgar. As a director, Tom had a lot of videos. Moreover, these videos were not the kind that could be downloaded from the internet. They were all videos taken by the celebrities that Tom had slept with before. Tom took out his phone and fiddled with it for a while. Then, he gave Henry a knowing smile and said, "Okay." Henry hastily accepted the video and realized that it had 12 gigabytes of memory. Henry was dumbfounded. After the four women finished their drinks, they began to dance with Qin Feng. Although Qin Feng appeared to be engrossed in the waltz with the beauties, he was secretly observing Tom and Henry. When he saw the two of them whispering to each other in the corner and smiling vulgarly from time to time, Qin Feng was even more certain that they had drugged the wine. Since they had drugged the wine, Rao Sherman, the other three women, and even his glass of wine must have been drugged. Qin Feng only swapped 2 glasses of wine for them. In other words, among the 5 of them, 3 of them had drunk the wine that was drugged. Qin Feng was dancing with Zhang Kuku. Occasionally, he would glance at Rao Sherman and the other 2 women. He mainly wanted to observe their reactions. After all, Qin Feng had no idea what drug Henry and Tom had drugged them. "Hey, how can you do this? You're always distracted when you dance with me. You even peek at Sherman and the other women. You're pissing me off." Zhang Kuku soon realized that Qin Feng was not paying attention when he was dancing. She was so angry that she bumped her chest against Qin Feng. Qin Feng felt that he was almost bounced off. Huh? Why am I not paying attention? Didn't I touch her but while we danced? I'm very serious. Although Qin Feng was serious, his eyes were still peeking at Rao Sherman and the other 2 women. Zhang Kuku was really angry. She felt that among the 4 women, Qin Feng was the one who cared the least about her. He even purposely avoided her. Zhang Kuku couldn't figure out why. All right. You're not paying attention. I don't want to dance with you anymore." Zhang Kuku pushed Qin Feng away and stormed toward the washroom in a huff. Qin Feng paid no attention to her and sat beside the 3 women. "Huh? Why did Kuku leave?" Rao Sherman asked. "She said she had to go to the washroom." Qin Feng casually made up an excuse. That's great. Big brother Zheng Shuai, let's go dance." Ao Shaoan hastily pulled Qin Feng. She couldn't let go of such an opportunity. Ma Xin was instantly displeased. She glared at Ao Shaoan and yelled, "Hey, don't you know the rules? Even if Zhang Kuku doesn't dance, Sherman will be next. Why are you snatching her?" "Snatching her is my business." Sherman didn't say anything. "Why are you making a fuss, big butt?" Ao Shaoan and Ma Xin quarreled with each other after exchanging a few words. Qin Feng and Rao Sherman were used to it. Ma Xin's eyeballs almost popped out when she was called a big butt. You yellow-haired little girl. What did you call me? Big butt? Is there something wrong with your head?" Ma Xin was furious. Chapter 9:29. Why you call me a yellow afro? Why your eyes grew on your butt? What did I dye my hair yellow? What did I have an afro? What does afro mean? This is the first time I've heard of this word. Ao Shaoan rolled his eyes. When he said this, he was obviously a little unconfident. After learning that Zheng Shuai was Qin Feng, Ao Shaoan's yellow afro was gone next day. Now, he had a head of long black hair that fell over his shoulders. From time to time, He would tie his hair into 2 ponytails, which scared Qin Feng and the beauties. Pretend. Keep pretending. You're a non-mainstream afro. Ma Xin pursed her lips and deliberately angered Ao Shaowan. Why you have a big butt? Ma Xin stamped her feet angrily. She felt the ground shake. So what if I have a big butt? Women with big butts can have sons. Can you? If you want to have a son, then have one. It has nothing to do with me, Ao Shaowan retorted. Of course it has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with Zheng Shuai. He said he likes sons. Ma Xin stared at Ao Shaowan triumphantly. Rao Sherman suddenly looked at Qin Feng and stared at his face with a strange look. Qin Feng was embarrassed. Every time the women quarreled, Qin Feng would be the innocent victim. Qin Feng simply ignored Ao Shaowan and Ma Xin. As long as they didn't tear each other's hair and fight, it would be fine. Little pig, is there a universal antidote in the system? Qin Feng was concerned about this serious matter. Rao Sherman, the women, and himself were probably poisoned. He had to detoxify the poison first. Master, you don't have to buy an antidote. You can detoxify the poison directly with your inner qi. You can also detoxify the other women. As for Ma Xin, Master doesn't need to care about her. She has the body of all poisons. No poison or medicine will work on her. After listening to Little Pig's advice, Qin Feng had already started to circulate his inner qi to detoxify himself. The detoxification process was very simple. He only needed to let the inner qi circulate once in his body. The poison and waste in his body would also circulate. Then he could go to the toilet and detoxify himself. Sherman, give me your hand. Qin Feng took care of his body in a few minutes and then looked at Rao Sherman beside him. Rao Sherman was slightly stunned. Then her pretty face began to blush. But she didn't refuse Qin Feng. She didn't even ask the reason and directly gave him her hand. Qin Feng held Rao Sherman's small hand. It was smooth and soft to the touch. Waves of inner qi entered Rao Sherman's body. Rao Sherman wasn't prepared at all. She suddenly let out a coquettish cry, which tickled Qin Feng's heart. After Rao Sherman, Qin found that Ma Xin and Ao Shaowan were still. In the beginning, the two of them were arguing about a big butt and a non-mainstream yellow-haired girl. Now, they were arguing about the explosion of the universe and the Milky Way galaxy war. Qin Feng didn't know how they got so far away. Xiao said, I said, Xiao. Qin Xiao. Ayu. Xiao. Zheng Shuai. Why are you touching her hand? I also want to be touched. Ma Xin stared at Qin Feng angrily. She was a little unhappy. You don't need a touch. You're fine. Ma Xin had the body of 1,000 poisons, so Qin Feng didn't need to give her inner qi. But Ma Xin didn't understand Qin Feng's intention. She immediately complained. What do you mean I don't need a touch? I want to be touched. Ma Xin pouted and began to act coquettishly. Qin Feng couldn't take his eyes off her charming appearance. Okay, I'll touch you. Sit down. Ma Xin and Ao Shaowan sat on Qin Feng's left and right. Qin Feng held each of their hands and began to circulate qi to the two women. Ao Shaowan was an ordinary person. When she felt the cold inner qi enter her body, she had the same reaction as Rao Sherman. She couldn't help but pout coquettishly. Ma Xin was already a stage for inner martial artist, so she had inner qi in her body. When she saw Qin Feng touching her hand just to channel inner qi, she was confused. Okay, sit here obediently. I'm going to the washroom. After dealing with Rao Sherman and the other two women, Qin Feng went to find Zhang Kuku. He hadn't done that girl yet. Director Henry, quick, look, that annoying Zheng Shuai has left. Tom shouted excitedly from the corner. Harry also noticed that Qin Feng had left. The two of them sat in the corner and observed Qin Feng's every move. That brat seems to have gone to the washroom, Henry said. Who cares where he went? It's time for us to start. It's been 10 minutes. Tom looked at the three beauties sitting in the crowd with an impatient look. The Super Black Widow will be effective in 15 minutes. Let's wait for 2 more minutes. Don't let 1 or 2 minutes spoil the whole thing. Harry had a steadier temperament, So the two of them kept staring at the three women, paying close attention to the three beauties' every move. Qin Feng arrived at the door of the men's washroom. Before he entered, he was suddenly pulled into the women's washroom. Qin Feng instinctively wanted to fight back. His hand fell on the woman's head, but he stopped abruptly. "Cuckoo, are you crazy? Let go of me." Qin Feng glared at Zhang Cuckoo angrily. "Is this woman still mad at me? Is she trying to get back at me by dragging me into the women's washroom?" "Big brother Qin Feng, hug Cuckoo." Zhang Cuckoo raised her head slightly. The light in her beautiful eyes dimmed. She opened her mouth slightly and licked her lips with her pink tongue. She looked extremely alluring. "Don't try to trick me. I won't fall for it." Seeing Zhang Cuckoo's lustful expression, Qin Feng was 100% sure that this woman was trying to set him up. This was the women's washroom. If a woman came in, she would kick him out like a pervert. No. I want a hug and a kiss." Zhang Cuckoo refused to let go of Qin Feng. She even used all her strength to pull Qin Feng into the washroom cubicle. Qin Feng had to hand it to Zhang Cuckoo. When this woman acted like an idiot, even Qin Feng was afraid of her. Tat tat tat. Suddenly, the crisp sound of high heels came from outside the washroom. Qin Feng was startled. He quickly pulled open the cubicle door and pushed Zhang Cuckoo into it. "Cuckoo, don't shout. Otherwise, I'll fall out with you." Qin Feng could already guess what Zhang Cuckoo would do next. However, to his surprise, Zhang Cuckoo did not seem to be trying to trick him. She opened her mouth and stuck out her tongue. She kept rubbing her face against Qin Feng's face as if she wanted to kiss him. Qin Feng's face darkened. He pressed Zhang Cuckoo's head with one hand to prevent her face from coming closer. Zhang Cuckoo seemed to be in pain. She started to whimper, "Kiss me. Quick, kiss me." Qin Feng hastily covered Zhang Cuckoo's mouth with his hand. He was afraid that the woman who just entered the washroom would find out what she was doing. Zhang Cuckoo couldn't speak anymore. She started to squirm in Qin Feng's arms, but she couldn't break free from Qin Feng's grip. Qin Feng heaved a sigh of relief when he felt Zhang Cuckoo in his arms gradually calming down. The woman outside had left the washroom. Qin Feng looked at Zhang Cuckoo and was so shocked that he almost fell to the ground. "Cuckoo, what are you doing?" Zhang Cuckoo was wearing a black cheongsam. Her skirt was pulled up to her waist. Qin Feng was sure that Zhang Cuckoo's underwear was still on her body. I want. Zhang Cuckoo's words were unclear, and her eyes were lifeless. Qin Feng could tell that Zhang Cuckoo had been drugged. Had she drunk the wine? Judging from Zhang Cuckoo's condition, Henry and Tom must have drugged her. Qin Feng didn't know whether he should thank Henry and Tom or Henry and Tom. Zhang Cuckoo took the initiative to grab Qin Feng's hand and pressed it against her chest. She felt as if she was speaking to her conscience. "Cuckoo, stop it. I'll force the drug out of your body, okay?" Although Zhang Cuckoo's body was soft and smooth, Qin Feng dared not to do anything to her. Who knew what kind of earth-shattering things this silly girl would do when she regained consciousness? "Ugh, I can't take it anymore. Hurry up." Zhang Cuckoo's words were uttered subconsciously. Her face was filled with resentment, and she began to nudge Qin Feng with her body. Qin Feng was tormented by Zhang Cuckoo's long legs. Suddenly, Zhang Cuckoo stood on the toilet bowl and sat on the lid of the cistern. She wrapped her legs around Qin Feng's waist and mumbled, "I'm not taking off my underwear. It's so troublesome." Qin Feng was dumbfounded. He did not move and allowed Zhang Cuckoo to unbuckle his belt. "Director Henry, they're moving." "The three girls are moving," Tom yelled excitedly. Even his choice of words was a little shocking. "It seems like they're going to the washroom. Haha, this is a good opportunity. I love to have sex in the washroom." Henry was also excited. Both of them quickly got up and headed to the washroom. When they arrived at the washroom, they bumped into Rao Sherman and the other two girls. "Hee, three beauties come to the washroom. Ha, what a coincidence. We're also here to use the washroom." Henry and Tom greeted the three girls. Henry purposely looked at his watch. It had been 15 minutes since the three girls started drinking. This was the time when the drug of the Super Black Widow was at its strongest. Could it be that the three girls were suffering and wanted to relieve themselves in the washroom? Rauscher Man and the other two girls stopped at the washroom's entrance. They looked at Henry and Tom with a strange gaze. Are these two sick? Why the hell are they greeting me at the washroom's entrance? Okay, let's go in. Rauscher Man was the most sensible one. Although she was a little unhappy, she still gave a simple reply to Henry and Tom. Hee hee, since it's such a coincidence, why don't we go together? Chapter 9:30. Rauscher Man and the other two women were stunned. They even suspected that there was something wrong with their ears. Otherwise, how could Director Henry say such shameless and vulgar words? Hey, what did you just say? You want to go to the bathroom with us? A.O. Shaowan was a hot-tempered woman. She dared to say anything when Qin Fen was not around. She had the personality of a non-mainstream delinquent. A.O. Shaowan's tone was obviously questioning. Perhaps Henry, as an American, couldn't tell, but he thought A.O. Shaowan was asking for his opinion. Henry was so happy that he couldn't close his mouth. He rubbed his hands and said with a smile, "Of course, let's go to the bathroom together. Director Tom and I can also help you three beauties with your physical needs." Rauscher Man and the other two women were stunned for a few seconds. They really couldn't react. The three beauties had a pretty good impression of Henry and Tom. Both of them were elegant and courteous. Even though they invited everyone to dance tonight, this was a very common etiquette in the West, so Rauscher Man and the other two ladies didn't think too much about it. But now Henry actually said such explicit words. Was this person drunk? Director Henry, what nonsense are you talking about? Why would we mess around with you in the bathroom? Rauscher Man was so angry that her face turned red and her voice trembled. Three beauties. Do you think the bathroom is too small and unhygienic? It doesn't matter. I've already booked a presidential suite with Director Tom. We could do it separately or together. Henry's brain was full of sperm. He thought according to his own ideas and didn't understand the real meaning of Rauscher Man's words. Tom couldn't wait any longer. Seeing Henry chatting with the beauties for a long time, he was a little impatient. He directly reached out and wanted to hug A.O. Shaowan. This hot and arrogant little beauty was Tom's favorite. You motherfucker. How dare you molest me? I'll make you a eunuch. A.O. Shaowan wasn't someone to be trifled with. Although she wasn't as strong as Ma Xin, she was more decisive and hot-tempered than Ma Xin. Without waiting for Tom's hand to touch his body, A.O. Shaowan kicked Tom so hard that he screamed in pain. Fuck. Broken. My balls are broken. Tom covered his crotch and howled. Henry still couldn't react. Didn't these women drink Super Black Widow's wine? Why is there no reaction at all? Could it be that Asian women's orgasms were too low and needed a few more pills? Henry couldn't understand it at all. He didn't have to think anymore because Ma Xin kicked him in the stomach. You two bastards, you want to pick up the three of us? Dream on. These women, who were as obedient as cats in front of Qin Fen, became fiercer and fiercer when they were assaulted by other perverts. After being kicked, Henry curled into a ball and smashed into the sink behind him like a cannonball. Rumble. The ceramic sink immediately shattered. Henry maintained his position as a shrimp, half of his body sinking into the sink. How could you attack? We didn't do anything. Tom screamed for a while and finally managed to squeeze out a sentence. However, as soon as he finished speaking, A.O. Shaowan kicked him again. This girl must have practiced splits when she was a child. Her kick landed on Tom's head and knocked him to the ground. Henry and Tom groaned in pain on the ground. Half a minute ago, they were still fantasizing about the wonderful things they would do tonight. Now, their dreams were shattered and many of their bones were broken. The fighting outside was so intense that Qin Fen, who was in the women's washroom, could hear it clearly. Hearing Ma Xin and A.O. Shaowan's curses, Qin Fen broke out in a cold sweat. If the three women found out what happened between him and Zhang Kuku, he would be kicked out of the washroom window. Big brother Zheng Shuai, come on, be more aggressive. The drug in Zhang Kuku's body had completely taken effect. There was nothing in her world except for a few white clouds. She felt like she was flying in the sky. Zhang Kuku's screams were so loud that Qin Feng hurriedly kissed her. This temporarily suppressed Zhang Ku's screams. "You two shameless bastards. If you dare to hit on me again, I'll teach you a lesson." Ao Shaowan was still not satisfied after kicking them, so he started to scold them. Kuku said that Henry peeped under her skirt. "I thought it was just a joke. I didn't expect it to be true this time. You two are really beasts in human clothing." Rao Sherman, who is usually gentle and elegant, was enraged. She glared at the two men and turned around to enter the washroom. Ma Xin and Ao Shaowan cursed a few more times before following them into the women's washroom. They suddenly felt the need to use the toilet. They thought they had drunk too much tonight. Dong, dong, dong. The three women were startled when they entered the women's washroom. Loud noises came from one of the cubicles at the entrance of the women's washroom. The wooden cubicles made loud banging noises. The three women's faces turned red. Even an idiot would know what was going on inside. "Hey, do you have any sense of civility? Did you do it in the washroom? Get the fuck out of here. This is the fucking women's washroom." Ao Shaowan was the most hot-tempered among the three women. The noises inside suddenly stopped. Qin Feng was speechless. These three women really came to the washroom. After a short pause, the banging noises started again. Qin Feng was extremely depressed. This time, he really didn't move. It was Zhang Kuku who had gone crazy. She wished she could melt into his body. "Io, are you unwilling to accept it? How dare you compete with me? I like to see what you're up to. Get the fuck out of here." Ao Shaowan rushed to the washroom and started kicking the door. Qin Feng was so scared that his heart almost jumped out. After a few kicks, Rao Sherman hastily grabbed Ao Shaowan and said, "Shaowan, don't mess around. The people inside are uncultured and have no self-control. They're just like animals. We don't need to lower ourselves to their level. I can't hold it anymore. I'm going to take care of myself." Ma Xinxin's expression turned ugly. She hastily ran to the innermost washroom. Rao Sherman and Ao Shaowan also needed to go to the toilet. However, the two women were disgusted by the fact that someone was doing it inside. However, Ao Shaowan had already kicked the door, but the woman refused to come out. The noises inside were getting louder and louder. Ao Shaowan and Rao Sherman were at their wits' end. After a while, the two women could only brace themselves and go to the washroom. Since the three women were in the washroom, the noises were even clearer. The banging of the door was rhythmic. The three women had no experience in this aspect, so they were a little excited when they heard the noise. Moreover, the woman's mouth seemed to be blocked. She could only make muffled sounds. However, it was this kind of oppressive sound that made the three women's hearts beat faster. Soon, the three women ran out of the washroom. They couldn't bear to stay there any longer. Their faces were red with embarrassment. Bang! A loud noise resounded. Qin Feng found that the washroom's wooden door fell to the ground. It was destroyed by the fierce battle between him and Zhang Kuku. Both of them were still hugging each other, but there was nothing they could hide from each other. Fortunately, there was no one in the washroom. Qin Feng quickly carried Zhang Kuku to the ground. Zhang Kuku's hazy eyes gradually brightened. She screamed in fear when she saw Qin Feng. "Ah, what did we do?" Zhang Kuku's mind was muddled by the effects of the drug. Now that the drug was released, Zhang Kuku regained her consciousness. However, she was stunned the moment she woke up. She had been chastising herself for 20 years, but it was all gone. "Kuku, don't scream. I'll explain it to you." Qin Feng hastily covered Zhang Kuku's mouth after the three women left. Zhang Kuku nodded dumbly. Her big eyes were fixed on Qin Feng's thighs. Her eyes were filled with astonishment. Qin Feng hastily put on his clothes and tidied up Zhang Kuku's cheongsam. Then, he pulled the silly woman out of the washroom. "Big brother Qin Feng, did you rape me just now?" Zhang Kuku opened her mouth. Qin Feng almost fell to the ground. "I am not that kind of person." When Qin Feng pulled Zhang Kuku out of the washroom, he saw Henry and Tom lying at the entrance of the men's washroom. Qin Feng had no time to entertain these two idiots. He pulled Zhang Kuku to a secluded corner and sat down. "Didn't you? Then I'm going to the hospital for a checkup. I don't think I have it anymore." Zhang Kuku's face was still red. She pouted and acted like a spoiled child. Qin Feng almost pushed her again. Cuckoo, it's better if you don't go to the hospital for a checkup. The truth is you drank the drugged wine, and your animal instincts kicked in, and you pushed me down. Qin Feng pretended to be the victim. Although Zhang Cuckoo was a Chinibyu, she was not stupid. On the contrary, Zhang Cuckoo was the smartest among the four beauties. Otherwise, Qin Feng would not have fallen into her trap so many times. Zhang Cuckoo calmed down and pondered. She believed Qin Feng's words. Qin Feng had many chances to push Zhang Cuckoo down, so why did he choose to do it tonight? Why did he choose to do it in the washroom? This was all very illogical behavior. Big brother Qin Feng, I'm sorry. Please don't tell Sherman about this. Zhang Cuckoo suddenly grabbed Qin Feng's hand and begged him after she figured out the truth. Qin Feng was dumbfounded. Don't tell Sherman? Qin Feng asked instinctively. Of course I can't tell her. Just promise Cuckoo. At most, Cuckoo will do her best to satisfy you whenever you want it. Zhang Cuckoo looked at Qin Feng earnestly. Qin Feng was still in a daze. He wanted to beg Zhang Cuckoo not to tell Sherman and the others about this. Qin Feng had made up his mind. In order to seal Zhang Cuckoo's mouth, he would fulfill whatever Zhang Cuckoo asked for. He would even give her 100 fireball talismans. Chapter 9:31. Qin Feng didn't understand Zhang Cuckoo's behavior because he didn't understand her mind. Zhang Cuckoo had already made up her mind. She would let Rao Sherman look for a boyfriend and share a boyfriend with Rao Sherman. When Zhang Cuckoo found out that Zheng Shuai was Qin Feng in Hong Kong, she was certain that Qin Feng was Rao Sherman's boyfriend, which meant that he was her boyfriend. Therefore, Zhang Cuckoo had no scruples in front of Qin Feng. Let Qin Feng do whatever he wants. Let him have his way. However, Zhang Cuckoo was the mistress, and Rao Sherman was the mistress. Rao Sherman hadn't even slept with Qin Feng, but Zhang Cuckoo had accidentally pushed Qin Feng. How was he going to face his good sister, Rao Sherman, in the future? You're not going to tell Rao Sherman? Why didn't you tell Ma Xin and Ao Shaowan? Qin Feng still found it hard to accept Zhang Cuckoo's behavior. He was even worried that Zhang Cuckoo would come up with another vicious move to take revenge on him. Zhang Cuckoo shook her head like a rattledrum. She said seriously, Big brother Qin Feng, you must listen to Cuckoo. You can't say a word, even if you're beaten to death. This was what Qin Feng hoped to see the most. However, when such a good thing really happened, Qin Feng couldn't accept it. Why won't you tell me? Qin Feng wanted to probe further. Suddenly, Zhang Cuckoo sat on the sofa beside Qin Feng. She hugged Qin Feng's arm tightly and said coquettishly, Big brother Qin Feng, I just don't want to tell you. But, Big brother Qin Feng, did you have fun just now? Why don't we do it again in the corridor? Lie down and I'll satisfy you. Zhang Cuckoo deliberately changed the topic and tempted him with her beauty. Cough, cough. No need. Then I'll kiss you now. Sneaking around is the most exciting thing, Zhang Cuckoo said as she placed her face on Qin Feng's thigh. Qin Feng was so scared that he almost had a heart attack. Was there something wrong with this woman? Was he suffering from masochism or post-trunk schizophrenia? Cuckoo, it's fine if you don't want me to tell you, but you have to tell me the reason. Qin Feng patted Zhang Cuckoo's shoulder and made her sit beside him. Zhang Cuckoo looked at Qin Feng awkwardly and said in an aggrieved tone, Sure, man likes you too. She was the one who met you first, but I was the one who did it with you first. If Sherman finds out about this, she'll be very sad. Zhang Cuckoo was so anxious that she cried. Qin Feng had known Zhang Cuckoo for a long time, but this was the first time he saw her so serious about something. Qin Feng could tell that Zhang Cuckoo cared a lot about Rao Sherman's feelings. No wonder Rao Sherman had always been protective of Zhang Cuckoo. No matter what Zhang Cuckoo did or how offensive she was, Rao Sherman would always be the first to stand up for her. Feng would. Could Qin Cuckoo Air's relationship with? However, they were not sisters. They Li and Cuckoo for Qin Li, He Li, and Air, and A for Cuckoo, a Yin Feng a Feng, a Air a Tianming a Li. However, Qin Feng was overjoyed. He didn't expect that he would get hold of Zhang Cuckoo's weakness by accident. What a great weakness. Yes, Kiki really knows her mistake this time. Big brother Chin Feng, just wait and see Kiki's performance in the future. When you need Kiki, even if it's in the middle of the night, Kiki will strip naked to find you. Chin Feng was slightly embarrassed by Zhang Cuckoo's straightforwardness. Cough cough. That's not all I'm talking about. You're not allowed to fool around with other men in the future, understand? Chin Feng was worried about Zhang Cuckoo when he thought about her late stage of acting like an idiot. Don't worry about that. Cuckoo isn't a fickle woman. I'll only feed Big Brother Chin Feng. If another man dares to touch me, I'll call Big Brother Chin Feng to take care of him. Zhang Cuckoo pouted mischievously. Every single expression on her face could be captured and made into a sticker pack. Zhang Cuckoo was an adorable and lively woman. Chin Feng doted on Zhang Cuckoo even more after he had sex with Zhang Cuckoo. With this clown around, Chin Feng would die of laughter. All right, I won't tell them about your mistake for the time being. Don't worry, just be a good girl and listen to me from now on. Chin Feng patted Zhang Cuckoo's head. Zhang Cuckoo nodded obediently. Chin Feng liked this little girl more and more. He pulled her to the dining car and said, "You must be exhausted. Let's go eat something to replenish your energy." Zhang Cuckoo's eyes lit up the moment she arrived at the dining car. Her hands were grabbing different delicacies while her eyes were glued to the other food. She looked like a reincarnated hungry ghost. Chin Feng wanted to laugh. Big brother Chin Feng, you must be tired too. You should eat more. Zhang Cuckoo had changed. She used to annoy Chin Feng for no reason, but now she acted cute and fed Chin Feng food. Chin Feng purposely sucked on Zhang Cuckoo's finger while eating the cake. Zhang Cuckoo felt as if she was electrocuted. She looked at Chin Feng shyly and took another piece of cake to feed Chin Feng. Cuckoo, Zheng Shui, where have you been? Rauscher Man and the other two girls suddenly walked toward them. They had not seen them since they went to the washroom. Zhang Cuckoo, who had always been as bold as a tiger, was frightened like a frightened rabbit when she saw Rauscher Man. Zhang Cuckoo went to Chin Feng's side and secretly pulled the corner of Chin Feng's shirt. She raised her head and looked at Chin Feng with a pitiful expression. Chin Feng patted Zhang Cuckoo's head lovingly. He smiled at the three girls and said, "I went to the washroom just now and heard you guys fighting outside. I wanted to come out and help, but all you were gone by the time I came out. As for Cuckoo, I don't know where she went. She just came to look for me." Chin Feng's ability to fabricate lies had reached the acme of perfection. Therefore, the three girls did not suspect anything. If he told Rauscher Man and the other two girls that Chin Feng and Zhang Cuckoo were the ones who had banged in the women's washroom, the three girls would be in disbelief. I get angry every time I talk about those two bastards. How dare they try to hit on me? I'll crush their balls with my foot. A.O. Xiaowan's temper flared up again when she mentioned Henry and Tom. Chin Feng couldn't bear to listen to her anymore, so he hastily coughed. A.O. Xiaowan suddenly froze. Her originally cold face and arrogant aura suddenly dissipated. She trotted into Chin Feng's arms and hit Chin Feng's chest sweetly. "Darling, you're so handsome tonight." Rauscher Man and Ma Xin rolled their eyes. They were speechless. Zhang Cuckoo alone was enough for the two girls. Now there was A.O. Xiaowan. Huh? Zhang Cuckoo seems to be very quiet tonight. There must be something fishy going on. Chin Feng chatted with the four girls as they ate. The atmosphere was very warm and sweet. Later, Henry and Tom walked back, supporting each other. When everyone saw that the two of them seemed to have just returned from the battlefield, they were all stunned. Director Henry, Director Tom, are you all right? Several staff members from Film Group hurried to help the two of them. Even they couldn't figure out what the two directors and director had done tonight. The two of them happened to walk past Rauscher Man and the other two girls. When they saw the three girls chatting and joking with Zheng Shui and ignoring them, Henry and Tom were so angry that their noses became crooked. And nothing. I went to the washroom with Director Tom and accidentally fell. Although Henry was angry, he didn't dare to tell them the truth. Otherwise, it would be too embarrassing. Sighs could be heard from the surroundings. Everyone doubted Harry's words. Henry and Tom had skated several times tonight, and only the two of them had skated. No one else had skated. Besides, The ground was not slippery at all. Could it be that Henry and Tom were wearing the skateboarding shoes that Grandma had given them? Moreover, even if they had slipped, they shouldn't have fallen to this extent, right? Henry and Tom also felt everyone's strange gazes. The two of them were too embarrassed to stay. Not only did they fail to pick up girls tonight, but they were also trampled on by several girls. Just thinking about it made them feel pain in the balls. However, they really felt pain in the balls. What? Director Tom, why did you touch my chest? Henry was about to leave so that he wouldn't make a fool of himself here. However, before he could leave, Tom suddenly put his hand into Henry's suit and groped his chest. Henry was so disgusted that he quickly pushed Tom. Tom staggered and almost fell. When he steadied himself again, his eyes became a little blurred. Suddenly, he pounced on several long-legged girls in the crowd. Ah! A burst of exclamations came from the crowd. Most of them were women's screams. This Tom's behavior was really too shameless. He wanted to molest women in the hall in public? Was there something wrong with his brain? Hee. Beauties, big-breasted beauties, don't run. Big Brother is very big. Let Big Brother hug you. The drug in Tom's body took effect. In fact, it should have taken effect a long time ago. However, after being beaten up by A.O. Shawan and Ma Xin, Tom and Henry lost control of their emotions. The drug also delayed some time. Fuck, these two American men are really perverts. That Henry in front peeped at Coco's skirt. This beast is even more shameless. What he said disgusted me. The staff from Hong Kong's media of millions couldn't stand it anymore. Some of them wanted to rush up and beat Tom up. However, before they could do so, Henry suddenly transformed. There's so many sexy girls here. They're all mine tonight. Everyone, line up and let me take off your clothes one by one. Chapter 9:32. Everyone in the party was dumbfounded. They had never seen anyone as showy as Henry and Tom. Director Henry, wake up. You can't do this. Director Tom, that madam is the CEO's lover. You can't hug her. The employees of Film and Television dropped their jaws to the floor. Some of them came back to their senses and tried to stop Henry and Tom. However, Henry and Tom seemed to be possessed. They beat up anyone who tried to stop them. Crazy. Director Henry and Director Tom are crazy. Let's go. We shouldn't get involved in this mess. Half of the employees of Film and Television ran away. They couldn't afford to offend Henry and Tom, and they were too ashamed to show their faces. The noisy and crowded party was emptied in an instant. Most of the women in the party had run away. Only Chin Feng and the four beauties were left. Henry and Tom looked at each other and started kissing each other. Then, they hugged each other and kissed each other. The two of them kissed wildly while touching each other's body. That scene was so unbearable to the eyes that Rao Sherman and the other three girls almost vomited when they saw it. Mr. Zheng, let's go back. Sister Ling couldn't stand it anymore. She came to ask for Qin Feng's opinion. Sister Ling could tell that Sherman and Kiki listened to Zhang Shuai's words. American men really know how to play. I don't even dare to try this. Qin Feng chuckled as he glanced at Henry and Tom. Then, he led the crowd away. Qin Feng walked to the front with the four women surrounding him. A dozen employees of Hong Kong's House of Millions Media followed him. They spat on the floor and cursed when they left. After leaving the banquet hall, everyone returned to their rooms. Qin Feng and Ma Xin stayed in the same suite. Ma Xin danced for a long time tonight and was clearly tired. Once she returned to the suite, she went straight to her room to rest. Qin Feng lay on the sofa and didn't disturb Ma Xin. He looked at the bustling yet unfamiliar night outside the window. Suddenly, he remembered the women in China. They must be missing him. One woman's face after another flashed through Qin Feng's mind. Suddenly, Han Ying's face appeared in his mind. Qin Feng felt a stab of pain in his heart. After going to Jincheng City to see Father Han, he had been looking for Han Ying, but he couldn't find her. The amount of hedonist points required to locate her was simply too shocking. Master, the divination stone's divination function hasn't been used yet, Little Pig suddenly said. Qin Feng abruptly sat up straight. Of course, he knew what Little Pig meant. With a slight thought, Qin Feng took out the sky, occupying spirit stone from the emerald spirit ring. Divine Han Ing Ying situation. With a thought from Qin Feng, the originally dim sky, occupying spirit stone, suddenly radiated white light in all directions. The air around the stone also changed, and circles of strange energy waves flowed around it. Buzz, a ball of light and shadow appeared, and a series of images appeared on it. It seemed to be a department store. The items inside were all written in English. A tall woman stood in front of the cashier. She wore a uniform, black stockings, and her wavy hair was tied behind her head. Her face was exquisite and charming, and she could easily attract a man's gaze. However, Qin Feng saw a trace of haggardness on her face. The arrogance of a queen was nowhere to be seen, and her eyes lost their former brilliance and sharpness. They were somewhat hollow, and it was the look of a person who had lost all hope and pursuits. Buzz. The image ended there. With a flash of white light, the sky occupying spirit stone suddenly became dim again. Qin Feng's heart was a bit heavy. He never thought that the proud and unruly Queen Han Ing Ying, who once shook the Yun province's business circle, would become like this. Qin Feng knew very well that Han Ing Ying's change was all because of him. This wasn't the real Han Ing Ying. She shouldn't have lived such a simple life. Qin Feng wanted to find her and return what he owed her. Qin Feng put the sky occupying spirit stone away, then took out his phone and browsed Weibo. Qin Feng was not very familiar with the United States. The image that appeared on the sky occupying spirit stone just now might be in the United States because the words on the shelf were all written in English, and there was the United States flag hanging on the ceiling. Qin Feng carefully recalled the image that he saw just now. He did not want to miss any detail. Then, he expressed the image in words and posted it on his Weibo. Qin Feng's identity as Zheng Shuai had 15 million followers. He wanted to use these powerful Zheng Shuai fans to help him find the shop that appeared on the sky occupying spirit stone. Qin Feng wanted to know the country, the specific city, the specific street, and the location of the shop. Buzz. Qin Feng's phone vibrated as soon as he posted the Weibo post. It was a WeChat message from Zhang Kuku. Big brother Qin Feng, I'm outside. Is Xin asleep? I'm here to serve you. Qin Feng was so shocked that he almost threw his phone away when he saw the message. Is Zhang Kuku really going to be obedient to me? It was the dead of the night, and it was the perfect time to be intimate. Big brother Qin Feng, is Xin asleep? Qin Feng opened the door quietly. Zhang Kuku, who was wearing a red coat and a pair of cotton slippers, ran into the room. Kuku, why are you here? Qin Feng feigned ignorance. Big brother Qin Feng, let's go to your room first. I'll be in big trouble if Xin finds out. Zhang Kuku, who was usually carefree, was as timid as a mouse at this moment. Qin Feng did not make things difficult for Zhang Kuku. He pulled her into his room. Swoosh. As soon as they entered the room, Qin Feng saw Zhang Kuku unzipping her red coat. It was completely empty inside. Big brother Qin Feng, come quickly. I still need to sneak back home. Zhang Kuku was lying on the bed with her arms and legs spread out. She stared at Qin Feng with her big, watery eyes. The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched violently. This Zhang Kuku is really something. The filming of Hedonist Sovereign had officially begun in the United States. Early in the morning, Qin Feng accompanied the beauties to the bustling Chinatown after having breakfast. More than half of the Chinese who worked hard in the United States gathered in Chinatown. They were all Chinese. Walking on the bustling street, Qin Feng and the others felt a sense of familiarity with this place. The staff from Hong Kong's House of Millions Media were already in position and ready to start filming. A few people from Americans Can Film Group had also arrived. However, Henry and Tom did not come. They were beaten up and went crazy last night. It was estimated that they would need to stay in the hospital for a few days before they could recover. Kuku, why are you so listless? Did you steal a man last night? When the show was about to start, Rao Sherman noticed Zhang Kuku was yawning, so she joked with her. Zhang Kuku could barely open her eyes. When she heard Rao Sherman's words, she was so shocked that she jumped. I didn't steal a man. Sherman, don't accuse Cuckoo. Rao Sherman was startled by Zhang Cuckoo's reaction. I was just joking. Why are you so agitated? Don't tell me you really want to steal a man? Zhang Cuckoo's face turned pale. This girl was usually fearless, but she was very worried about this matter. Qin Feng felt sorry for Zhang Cuckoo when he saw her scared out of her wits. He walked up to her and said with a smile, Cuckoo must have stayed up all night to play games. This girl has become a gaming maniac. Zhang Cuckoo nodded hastily. Yes. Cuckoo played with the tablet last night, but she couldn't defeat the big boss. Cuckoo was so mad. Rao Sherman did not think much of it. She glared at Zhang Cuckoo and said, You know that you have to film today, but you still played games. You better put away your tablet tonight. Zhang Cuckoo stole a glance at Qin Feng and gave him a grateful look. Qin Feng walked up to her and patted her head. Then he patted Rao Sherman's head. Rao Sherman blushed. Due to Cher's absence, Ma Xin took over Cher's role. When they were filming in Hong Kong, Ao Xiaowan was forcefully transformed from a passerby to a female lead. Ma Xin wanted to forcefully give herself the identity of female lead. Now that her dream had come true, Ma Xin was overjoyed. The scenes in the United States were also extremely melodramatic. Qin Feng and the female leads were separated for a period of time. Then, they came to the United States at the same time and met each other on the streets of the United States. The female leads believed that it was fate, and from then on, they followed Qin Feng for the rest of their lives. The shooting had already begun. When the staff of Film Group saw Qin Feng and the others' performance, every one of them was dumbfounded. Is this China's blockbuster movie? This should be a documentary about Animal World, right? The staff of Film Group had their horizons broadened. They were the top staff in the international film and television industry, but it was their first time witnessing such a unique filming style. At first, they thought it was lousy, but gradually they found it interesting. In the end, they realized that it was a unique style. An ordinary director would not be able to produce such a scene even if he wanted to. Since Qin Feng and the others had come all the way to the United States to film, Qin Feng acted with an extremely serious attitude. Qin Feng felt that his acting skills were absolutely not bad. In fact, he was even better than those who were trained in acting. In addition, it was the first time for Rao Sherman and the others to act, so their acting skills were very lacking. Qin Feng felt that he was shouldering a heavy responsibility. The box office of this movie was completely reflected by his acting skills. Qin Feng walked in the bustling Chinatown, and several cameras shot him from all angles. The autumn wind rustled Qin Feng's long hair. Although the surroundings were lively and bustling, Qin Feng looked up at the sky at a 45-degree angle and slowly walked forward. His eyes were gloomy with a touch of disappointment. Every movement and expression of his vividly reflected the strange and lonely feeling of being in a foreign land. A trace of sadness was brought into the hearts of the cameramen, and the staff of Film Group also became serious. Qin Feng's acting skills were not just for show. Even though he did not speak, everyone could feel his emotions. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.